they get more taxes and the prices are the same. They come to France, they get more tax and the
I
prices
don't
are the
know
same. They still opening
why.
stores.
Where is this story coming from?
No, I'm telling that these multinational companies buy
Correct.
the dust every single time they open a new store in another country.
Economic decision. Probably they
No,
get
but
tax.
that's the point.
Probably
But
they get tax free for a period of time.
no, they don't, and that's exactly the point.
We
If
just had a
this company,
Panasonic battery plant move in down the road from us. They're
no,
sitting
no,
there
that's
for
fair.
20
No,
for
that's fair.
20 fucking years tax free. That's
Might be
why
local
manufacturers move.
taxes. Like the
Yes,
business doesn't pay property tax or something.
And
There's a
just
lot of
a
deals that
quick
happen with that.
shout out, just a quick shout out to Milk Cow for the $3 super sticker. Thank you so much, Milk Cow. Moo to you. Back to you, gentlemen.
Did you
I'm
just
just
say you
saying
had a
that.
battery plant move in?
Yeah, they're building a Panasonic, a massive battery production facility a little bit down the road, and the state is giving them 20 years with no property tax. There's massive tax
Well,
incentives to get these companies to move into the country.
I
Yeah,
just
that
don't
was all. A lot of that was
I
Biden,
just
by the
don't
way. The CHIPS
understand.
Science Act and Inflation Reduction
I
Act
just
both
don't
like
understand.
subsidize battery production, and battery production is really important. It's a national security issue, which is why
I didn't
wanted
hear
to-
the beginning of what you said.
The CHIPS Act is what drove that.
Why are
I'm
batteries
I'm
a
not
national
thrilled
security
about it.
issue?
The reason I'm not thrilled about it is
Batteries are
because it's
national
right in my
security issue because
neighborhood.
they're very important.
Yeah,
for
I don't give a
drones
fuck
and
about
other
national
military
security. I
equipment.
care about my neighborhood.
I'm actually non-fun. Could you repeat?
They're very important for drones, which are really essential for a modern military, and there's other military equipment that uses batteries as well.
Oh, that's a good point.
I think the power grid is along the same lines, but even more important.
Also, phone
Substation components.
technology, cell phone, smartphone technology, so they can put chips in there from China. Cause problems because they can be they could possibly switched off from a foreign country can actually knock your battery out because they've put an on-off switch in it. And in fact, this is what Israel did. Remember a couple of months ago when all the Hamas guys were blowing up because they got a third party to go in and put these explosive devices in their cell phones or it wasn't cell phone, in their pager technology. Yeah. So this is why these kind of technologies become national security issues. Imagine if an aggressive foreign entity had control of that in our technology and was taking out our people. Right?
Well, yeah, and that's why we have Taiwan that manufactures all these chips. And what's funny is that they actually have like detonation switches on the manufacturing equipment. Like in case that they get taken over, they'll like blow up all the the proprietary knowledge and crap.
Here's what's interesting. Like this issue centers around energy independence, and Trump is like the oil and gas candidate. But if you look at like coal jobs during the Trump administration, they went down 24%. So how does you're obviously going to be sourcing your oil and like energy from like other nations, especially like Canada and like the tar sands and stuff like that. I just don't think he can commit to his national protectionist rhetoric that he claims to be such a fan of. I think that was all populist rhetoric.
Well, you know what's great about it?
Was that during the plague though? During like starting to all the lockdowns and stuff?
No, I don't know what you're talking. He was saying this. He's been saying he's the oil and gas candidate the entire time up until like recently.
You know what's great though for all of us is that because he is the president elect, when he gets in there, we're going to see, aren't we? And then we can reconvene and said, hey, remember we talked about this on the panel, and you were talking about tariffs, and that you'll be able to point to and say it didn't work at all, did it? And then I'll be at that time go, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I guess I'll see you in 4 years. Can't wait.
Or like how now we're saying, see, it was just the flu, and they're all like, whatever.
And we got to reconvene also in the war situation. It'll be very easy to talk to our friend from Central America, in a few years from now, when we see what Trump's able to do on the national stage. And it depends. I mean, it's a global economy. It's a global situation. Everybody's entwined with one another. There's so many variables. I mean, the Fed is so interesting. The chairman of the Fed, anybody watch that news item where the Fed said, I dare Trump to fire me? He can't fire my ass.
I love Powell. I love Powell.
Yeah, but that's problematic because you've got this agency independent of the president. And so I find that
very good.
We don't want the president to be in charge of any agencies. Like that's definitely
Like for example, you
Not the
agree the
central bank,
government.
not monetary.
yeah. No. President should be in charge of the central bank, of Congress, of the judges, of pretty much everything. Like
Treasury should be in
we
charge
should-
of
the Department of
not a
Justice
central
and
bank.
president.
Yeah,
right?
the problem. I mean, is there any problem with the Fed? Are they able to artificially heat up the economy or cool it down based on?
I mean,
yeah,
based
in
on
in response to trying to meet
ideological-
metrics for inflation and unemployment, yes, they
It's
do.
a private company. It's a private company.
And
You know that, right?
do they have any dealings with the central banks?
It's kind of like the post office. It's like it's not federal,
no,
but it is.
It's it's way more private.
not.
than
It
Oh, for
is.
sure. Do you have an issue with
Oh,
private
yeah,
companies?
nuance
Are you a
to it than
communist,
that.
Glow State?
owned. That is
We'll say
not.
there's more nuance to it than that for sure.
So Nolan in the
What's
chat,
the
right,
nuance?
the Federal Reserve is not a good thing, especially since it's owned by private quote foreign owners. Is this correct?
It's
I don't
owned by
think
the
it's
member
owned by
bank.
foreign owners.
It's owned by member banks, so there's nothing. The shares, that ownership will be all over the place.
Is it offshore?
That
Is it non-American ownership?
No, it's so the Federal Reserve banks are owned by the member banks in their charter. Basically, commercial banks own the Fed collectively, but who owns commercial banks is
That's my next question. Yeah.
yeah.
Is private
So
citizens,
don't
and we
really
can't have
know
that.
There's also, I mean, some appointments are still made by the president, right? Like obviously the Fed chairman is made by the appointment is made by the
Is
president.
approved,
It's not
approved, right? I believe
nominated
anyway,
and then approved by the Senate. Yeah.
right.
But
So-
instead, the
so-
president should just
Fed is
decide
a
everything.
leech on the country. You understand that, right? The Fed is a leech on the country.
Nope, I don't think so at all. Have you heard of Black Tuesday? Or no,
Tell me
Black
about
Friday.
Black Tuesday.
Afuera?
Monday, the stock market actually crashed in 1987 more than it did in the Great Depression. Unlike the Great Depression, you know what the Fed did? The Fed
Yeah, they
printed a
bailed
ton of
them out.
money and injected a ton
When
of
was
liquidity.
the Fed
into the market,
enacted?
Printed millions, okay?
1913.
And we avoided a recession because of it.
We avoided a recession
other
by
examples?
stealing value out of the existing dollar pool. And
I would rather, quote
injecting it in
unquote,
the
steal value out of the existing dollar pool than suffer a recession.
Well, I know. I can tell that you're a
Recession-
liberal.
Recession-
Liberals are thieves. You have no issue with stealing from people or demanding that you get what you want. That's
No,
fine.
Well, I mean, on
Recession
the
steals from
contrary,
people.
I would say like a recession causing 10% unemployment would also
If
essentially
you,
stealing
if you
jobs
had
from
had
the
any
people who
assets,
otherwise
then,
would have been
you might
employed,
have
but-
felt differently.
Do you
If I
realize
what?
that when a recession happens, people get broke? They go broke.
Mhm.
They're super poor. They're homeless. That's stealing from people. Whatever
No,
you're
it's
talking about is minimal in comparison.
Let's talk about the Depression. You know, the Great Depression happened after the Fed was enacted.
Yep, but we're still on the gold standard, right? I don't think the Fed had a good enough response because macroeconomists were really bad at the time.
What would a better response have been? We were still on the gold standard.
A
What's that
more
mean?
Keynesian
That
approach,
did
printing a ton of
afterwards.
money, probably suspended the gold standard. I think we did suspend the gold standard eventually, but
Yeah, and in fact, it became
1964.
illegal to own gold except for like a wedding ring, I think.
Did you seriously ask what the Fed should have done after he just said that we avoided a recession by printing money?
yeah, we should have.
We were
been showing
talking about two
deposits,
different
and I
time
think the
periods.
FDIC
We're talking
existed
about
back
two
then.
different time periods.
Yeah,
now.
Doug. That's what you've been talking about this whole time. You keep wanting to keep pulling out examples from like the 80s and the 20s and stuff. And like, okay,
All right,
sure.
So the Fed holds the purse strings, right? Because our money gets put into the system through basically spending bills, which
Basically.
necessitates the Treasury take money out from the central bank
Mhm.
at interest.
Yeah, so it's a
So
debt-based
if this
situation.
if the central bank says your loan is denied, the government
can't
shuts
do
down.
that.
So you want to have a private
lender of last
company
resort. They
have
don't do that.
have entire control over the federal government's actions?
No, I want Donald
is the
Trump to
lender-
be
that is the
solely in
lender of
charge
last
of all
resort.
decisions
That-
of the
that
Federal
is
I was
sure.
Reserve.
asking one of you. I was actually
The
looking
Fed
at
ensures that the Treasury market clears. That's one of the primary roles of the Fed is ensuring the Treasury market clears. They're a lender of last resort. Like they
to
can
their
raise
mem-
interest
to
rates.
their member banks, not to the federal government. They're the primary lender to the federal government.
So we have a problem, right?
Yeah, to make
We
sure
have
the
this
Treasury market clears.
this debt-based system, right? So every time that money is printed, then the resulting consequence of that is inflation. Isn't there a 1-to-1 correlation with that non-fund?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Well, I understand.
But you know what's not complicated? It's never going to be worse than a recession.
You're retarded. It
could, in
causes
theory,
recessions
be
and
worse than a
depressions, and
minor
eventually
Okay.
currency collapses.
Yeah.
I'll take Noncon's word on that. He knows what he's talking about.
Is
Are
a,
there
is a bear
advan-
market?
Are there advantages to going back on the gold standard? Is that even possible?
No, that's stupid.
It's not
Yeah,
possible.
I don't think
and
there's
I don't think
major advantages to be had there.
I think it's a nothing burger because it's not like private citizens could go and audit Fort Knox when we were on a gold standard.
It'd be fun to try and to see people try.
Right. Like all money is fake anyway, right? Like we just made that up. So it doesn't really matter if there's a medal associated with it or not.
People trying to go, like individuals go and audit the Fed. That'd be like, hey, let's go check out Area 51. Everybody,
I was just
this
thinking
day,
that,
let's go.
So
that's
the
a-
reason I asked, because kind of on this, again, with this global market, we know the World Economic Forum has been pushing this thing they call the Great Reset because there's so much debt being incurred, and with the runaway inflation, trillions of dollars we're talking. So if they do a reset on all this, almost like what the Bible talked about, the year of Jubilee, where we all go back and start again from nothing, right? Have you heard about this?
First off, I think
sure,
the World
that's
Economic
good.
Forum is a bunch of like rich dumb white dudes like jerking off in a room every couple of years. The
have
Great
said-
Reset is talking about a shift into stakeholder capitalism, where like they want to try to push for companies to care more about like the externalities of their business in areas like pollution and stuff. So it's to get them like more invested in their community and all that to like
I'd like to hear
not just
Rachel finish the concept of the Jubilee thing, please.
Oh, sorry.
Well, it's just the idea that with the Great Reset is that it basically it's tied into sustainability, their word. So the environment, these sort of environmental programs, 5-minute cities, the whole idea we're seeing, like everybody's got bike lanes in their towns being built up, all this sort of
That's
thing,
good.
alternatives to fuel, get us out of our cars because the carbon that they produce is bad for the planet, and section off areas, designate green areas, 5-minute cities, so everybody can get to all their needs without hurting the environment that way. Tax, what do they call it? Carbon credits for governments that
Carbon
pay into
tax.
the system. So so this is what they're talking about, and it's not just the suits. There's political entities like King Charles of England has spoken at the World Economic Forum. We had John Kerry speaking at the World Economic Forum recently. And he was talking about the control over digital media and getting control of that. It's very interesting. I mean, some of the ideas they have, alarming for people on my side of the political spectrum. But I'm just
something.
other
Sorry.
people's take on it, right?
What should be more alarming, if they have any negative policies, I don't know, because I don't think WEF is influential directly. They just suggest things. The IMF actually hands out funds to nations in need. They are run by the UN, but they're actually like giving out cash. So their prescriptions and stuff like that could have a direct influence on nations that need.
They are not
that
giving
money.
out cash. They
Yeah,
are
they give out
lending cash with
money.
massive interest when they get bad. Portugal in 2008,
Right.
Portugal
Loaning cash.
got saved by them, and it was like 10 years.
Sorry, I
of
missed
fighting
loading
the ball
cash.
because of it.
All I'm saying though is that like America is not really beholden to any like international financial institution. So whatever policies they're
Good.
prescribing, they're not going to be able to like push these things as an agenda
So-
on a nation like America.
So, but Melanie, this is the thing, right? People think that recessions and global crises are a problem. It's actually default. It's how the system should work. It's how these people get
Whoa.
extremely amount of riches in a short period of time. Like all the metrics that you have in 2024 are 10 times worse than when you had the financial crisis in 2008. All the metrics that you look at it, they are way worse than they were in 2008. The only difference is you think that's very bad. These rich people think that's awesome because that sells for them. Every
No,
time
I agree.
they have
Capitalism's bad. I agree.
no.
100%.
It's not that it's bad. It's on purpose. The machine is supposed to work that way.
That sounds bad to
30
me.
years, every 20 years, every 10 years, there should be a massive reset so these people can accumulate the most power and money that they can do.
That sounds
Because
bad
if
to
there
There's a
was
cycle of
I'm just saying.
there's a cycle of bear markets. That doesn't mean all of them are recessions. Like
no,
just
we're
a
not
down
talking
market
about bear
doesn't mean a
markets. We're
recession.
talking about
Rachel, are you calling?
financial.
Rachel, bye.
Pardon me for just a moment. Rachel, would you like some final thoughts before you exit?
Yeah, just a lot of fun and a really good panel, a lot of knowledge here, certainly more than I have in the world of high finance. I'm no economics expert or whatever, so lots to learn there. But I just obviously whatever we have right now is not working. Right, we're all paying a lot. The nation is so rich; everybody should be prospering so much, not living hand to hand, mouth, dollar to dollar kind of thing. That's got to be fixed. So whatever means does it, I'll leave it to greater economic minds than I have to work on that. In the meantime, I'm looking for some subs because I've really gone all Trumpy Bear, and I have a vinyl community channel, and so I've had about 50 liberals bail on me. So if we got any mega people, you want to come over to my place, do it. And I'm exhausted, I got to tell you. But here's a link to my own channel. I know Nightbot helps me out all the time here, Sarah. And so please, so if you want to watch, we just talk records, and I annoy everybody by saying how great Trump is every morning. I think that's going to do it for me, Sarah. Thanks again for having me on. A lot of fun.
Yeah,
Fatty, you look good. Keep that look going. That's a winning look.
Hey, by the way, Rachel, next time buy the full et, okay? Don't buy like if you need a loan, like buy the whole thing. Don't
I
buy
got the buzzer. I like go, as you know. I like it. All right.
yeah.
Well, take care, everybody. Thanks so
See you
much.
Great to meet you, Rachel.
Thank
You should know
you.
Take
I
care.
forgot to
everybody.
ask her if she bought a Trumpy trout.
I don't have a Trumpy trout. I just got my two Trumpy caps. I got two of them. There we go. All right, everybody. Take care. We'll see you next time around.
Good night,
Bye, Sarah. Love you.
Rachel.
But,
And
but
then
we
a
are-
quick shout out to Nublet with the big $2. Hi, Miss Tomato, just passing through. Hail Crucible. Yes, thank you so much from the Crucible crew. We appreciate you.
Hail.
And I just have to do a quick overlay because we have Nathan. Nathan, is that you, darling? Hello.
Hello.
Nathan. Hi, how are you?
Hello. I'm
yes,
fine.
we hear you, Nathan.
How are you?
We're good. We're not going to show any things that we shouldn't be showing on panel, correct? No penises, no boobies, no porn.
Oh man.
I'm not a fucking degenerate.
Wow, that pause though.
Well, that's I didn't make it in.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
a
There's a hell of a pause.
I think he has a delay actually. Nathan, do you have like a bunch of other tabs open or something going on? Because it seems like you have a delay going on.
Or maybe he's listening through the YouTube instead of the StreamYard.
No.
Do you have the stream open?
Yeah, probably
on-
the YouTube.
Yeah, you might want to close that out because you're on StreamYard and there's a good 10-second delay.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Mm-hmm. Nathan, are you still with us, darling?
Is that better?
There we go. Is that better?
Is that better?
Much better. I
That-
hope.
Cool.
All right, Nathan, I'm going to count down.
Is that better?
From 10. Nathan, stop talking for a second. I'm going to count down from 10. And when I stop counting, I want you to pick up the counting. 10, 9, 8, 7.
6, 5,
Okay,
4,
there's
3, 2, 1.
So there's
Leave off.
definitely a delay. There's a good few seconds in a delay. Why don't you jump out of the StreamYard and then you can come back in and maybe make sure that everything's closed out because there's a significant delay that is going to cause issues, okay? So I'm going to remove you from the stream. I want you to jump
No
out
problem.
and back in. All right.
Houston, we have a problem.
Sarah, if I may,
That's a big delay.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, that was fucking genius. The counting thing, that was very
I like
Very
that.
clever.
I saw somebody else do it actually. I forget who it was, but somebody else, they were counting forward or something. And I was like, oh, that's really smart because there's a cadence to it, right?
yeah.
So
Well, I guess
we
less
can't
impressed
describe
now.
it
You
when
should have
we
just
say-
taken credit for it. But
I'm okay with giving credit. I don't even remember who I saw do it, but they did it. I was like, oh, that's really smart. I'm gonna
we
use
usually
that.
count to 5 and say when you hear 5, say pineapple, because people know.
Pineapple.
Yeah, I never got the countdown thing. It works too.
Of course, you would have problems counting, Fatty.
Because the countdown it might be just because the person is not that smart, right?
Well,
But if you
it's,
say
it's the cadence. It's the cadence, right?
but if
People
I say
can
I'm going to
understand.
count the 5, when you hear the 5 say pineapple, that's actually
Or it's like, I'm gonna start putting my hands together, and I want you to start clapping along with my hands.
I think there's a little
This
bit
is-
too. What if you have fat arms?
If,
This is turning into a field sobriety test. Like,
Yeah.
turn around and touch your nose. Next.
oh,
But I
goodness.
was saying it's not about bear markets because they're necessary. It's about creating gigantic bubbles and burst them at opportune times to get what they need to get. And like China is playing with that with the real estate market. They don't want to be the blame for the global crisis. Probably the Biden administration didn't want to be blamed for, so they push it with their belly up front to the next one, and then the hot potato is going to push the next one. We're going to see who actually is going to get that. And the parties, if it bursts during the Trump administration, there's 2 scenarios, and nobody's going to take accountability. It was less administration fault, so it burst on my time, but it's not my fault. Or I had to do it because the last guys fucked up everything, so I had to burst the bubble so I can actually correct these and make this work. So nobody's going to be blamed at the end of the day, and everybody that is rich is going to become richer. Everybody that is poor is going to lose even more.
Like Rachel was saying, and I know she's not here, but she just said it on her way out, and so it's unavoidable, that she wants to see the prosperity trickle down. And like, to me, in my mind, the only way you can do that, and Trump is the least likely candidate to do this, is corporate taxes, because they're the ones hoarding all the wealth. There's a reason Occupy pointed to the 1%. Maybe there's other ways I can't think of. Like, I'm certainly not as smart of econ as non-fun,
value
but
tax.
okay, cool. So there are other ways, and when I say
how long are these
I
businesses?
should have just said, to be more general now that I think of it, tax the rich, right?
But how long are these businesses going to stick around? Keep taxing the shit out of them.
They will always stick around. Apple is not going to file bankruptcy because they lost $3 billion. They are going to keep going and going and going and find the ways to make up for the money or have less the profit.
That's
You
right.
realize
Because
it's also expensive to move to another country, right?
not
Well,
Let me
everyone
now that
The issue is maybe,
Nathan,
like origin
pardon me for just a second. Now that Nathan is back, Nathan, I'm gonna count down again. 10, 9, 8. Nathan, are you with us?
Womp womp.
Nathan.
Was so bad.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and remove. We're gonna call that a night for your phone or device, whatever you're using. We'll have to come
The
back another
suspense was
time.
killing me. I was gripping
I
my
get-
seat, the edge of my seat.
I
the
get
whole
I
time.
get more nervous. Like I don't think Nathan's gonna do it, but I get more nervous when they're quiet. And I'm like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like, please don't.
Some heavy breathing starts happening.
Please don't make me need to stop the stream. Please. Please.
Please.
Please.
Please, we've had such a good night. Oh,
Just on
goodness.
the taxing a little, I think a big issue is that we do like origin-based taxes, where we like tax based on the origin of where the company's located. That makes it really easy for companies that basically are in America to say, no, we're not an American company just because all our production is in America and we sell everything in America. We're actually based in Ireland. I think a really good fix to this would be a destination-based tax, specifically a destination-based cash flow tax, okay, which is just a better way to do the corporate income tax. Because right now, the big issue of corporate taxes is that some of the burden falls on corporate investment. You don't want any tax burdens to fall on investment because investment is really good. A cash flow tax allows for the immediate expensing of all investment. So we should do destination-based cash flow tax. Look it up.
Are you
Republicans
thinking-
call it a border adjustment tax. It's based.
Are you thinking in a tiered bracket type method, kind of like progressive income tax, earned income tax. Because
Honestly, I would not have a problem.
we
with
want
the
to
cash
not
flow tax be
corporate
flat.
taxes generally penalize smaller business entities because they just can't deal with as much volatility in operating the increase in operating costs. Additional
in my
taxes and
defense-
regulation hurts smaller businesses.
So actually,
100%
another
more
really
than
good thing about
In
the
my
class
defense,
a
I-
tiered
I
method on
said-
that, maybe.
Yeah, in
you
my
tax
defense,
cash
I did.
flow. If you have a negative cash flow, you get taxed negatively. So you might get a tax credit for next year. So if a small business has a
communism.
negative cash flow for a few years, they won't pay any taxes until they actually become profitable, and they can use up their tax credits before they pay any taxes. It's
In my
awesome.
defense, I also said I changed it to tax the rich once I realized I was being too specific, anyways.
The rich are taxed. Okay.
Tax them more.
No one ever stands
eat
up
the
for the
rich?
richies. Okay.
Ooh.
Are you saying we don't need the rich? Because I'm down.
Everybody hates the rich. Do you have the courage to hate the poor?
Yeah.
No.
Well, no.
Ooh,
Well,
nice.
okay. Listen, I hate the middle class more than the poor, but definitely both.
I'm not brave enough to be
True. We should
Well,
tax
I
the
hate
middle
you
class,
too.
Double what we currently do.
Right.
to be smart and then act stupid would be like a bravery I'll never know. I'm sorry.
I have no words.
I used to be poor and I hated every minute of it.
Same.
Oh yeah, you hate being poor.
Therefore, I
that's-
poor.
What if there
that's-
were no
that's one way to
pores?
look at it.
You-
Gemini.
You know you're working for when everyone wants to tax other countries, pass the raising prices to the customer, but the last thing they want to do is raise these trillion-dollar companies a little bit of taxes. You know you're working for when that's the last resort. Everybody is not afraid of like trade agreements falling off, not afraid of your resources getting. Oh, everybody drinking? Then let me get my juice. Everybody is not afraid of the prices rising, but when it comes to the companies, oh my God, poor companies. How is Apple going to make iPhone 17 next year if we tax them more 5%?
Well, they're gonna relegate all their intellectual property to Ireland.
And they're
Why
still
would
going
you buy
to
an iPhone anyway?
and they're still going to pay what? No tax? Like what are they paying concretely in taxes?
Way more than the defense industry. I don't know. Apple's huge. I'm sure Apple pays a fuck ton of taxes.
By what? By percentage? They're probably paying less taxes than you.
Well, sure. I mean, I'm not necessarily.
Businesses are taxed on profits, essentially.
Oh, absolutely. And
Well, profits,
Apple.
not revenue, right?
and when
So,
most
like,
of your
Value
profits
capital.
and,
Yeah.
and when most of your profits are literally speculation and they are stock market that you'd never close positions, you just keep buying and buying and buying and buying, and you don't pay to the owners of those, like you don't pay salaries to these rich people, like you can always get away with it, right? Because most of these companies' value is not on what they produce, is on the stock market. That's why when Jeff Bezos got divorced, he had to pay his wife with stocks. Why didn't he pay with like assets or real money? He paid with stock because most of this value of this company is speculation. And that's what they actually like. They don't like to create new jobs. They like to reinvest and buy back their stock. He's already making a tremendous amount of money. I'll do the
Well,
same.
I mean, the
Generally, the
stock
idea
is what like finances investment and creating new jobs is the thing.
and it's
if-
supposed to
if-
protect against taxes, and then also with the stock, it keeps up with inflation by increasing your dollars. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that they're keeping them in stocks.
When you say
Oh, yeah,
protect
but-
against taxes, do you mean like
Yeah, but-
evade taxes?
But they keep talking
No,
about
because
trickle down
no,
economics
because
and
as soon as they
creating
sell
jobs
the
and all
stocks,
that.
they have to pay capital gains tax. So
If they don't close
so
positions, they don't pay nothing.
So if they were to accrue interest off of their stocks, they would actually be having to pay more capital gains tax over time by pulling the money out, and we're actually profiting more, allowing them to accrue interest on their money.
We're profiting more as in like we're making more money from taxes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I don't.
No, you're not. How does that work?
Because when you sell stocks and you accrue money, you have to pay capital gains at the end of the
Yes.
year.
So, but how do we benefit from letting them keep buying, never closing positions, never like you don't benefit nothing from it because you're not going to see the money.
Because if we were to just constantly tax their current stocks that are in there, the stocks would never increase in value, and so there would be no incentive for them to jump into stocks.
It would kill
Uh,
investment.
Like
That-
jo-
that- that
stocks,
actually-
so stocks only really occur on average about 10% per year, and the tax policies that you're wanting to put in there are 10% or more. So there would be like no incentive for them to put it in stocks at that point, and the
No,
market
because
would just crash.
No, because there's brackets. They are not taxing the first million, the first 10 millions, the first 30 millions. They're taxing you above a certain threshold. It's not 10% flat on everybody. It's
No,
10%
that's based off
above
income, though.
such
That's based off
income.
income and revenue. This
The-
is not stocks. Stock
just if
markets
you-
are a completely different tax.
No.
rate.
So they are not getting taxed, right? Because they don't close positions. The people that actually are proposing them to be taxed, they are not saying every time you close a position we're going to take 10%, 20%, whatever. They are saying, if
But that's
these
how it is
people-
now.
Huh?
But that's how it is now.
Yes, you are explaining the system now, right? But when people say we should tax the rich, it's not a flat every penny you get such and such and such. Is you are going to get, I don't know, $1 billion, and after $1 billion you start getting taxed 50%, 40%.
But now you're just moving the goalpost to some sort of income. We're talking about stocks right now.
No,
No,
absolutely.
any
Well,
tax the
even
rich
in-
policy would be bracketed income based.
Yeah, even
Yeah,
I'm
like
not
unreal-
getting
not
argued
arguing
agreement
anything
because I
about
agree
that.
with you. Maybe
Earned income or capital gains income, or royalty income.
they
I
don't
mean,
get no those people get no salaries. That's the loophole.
They're all
We don't
different
get
types of
nothing.
income.
And I was just I was trying to connect what Fatty seems to be a loophole, what I see as a loophole, to what Tiki was saying is tax protection.
Yeah, to a degree, yes.
Okay, so again, like we're all still confused as to how that benefits the American public.
Because as they have them in stocks, those stocks increase in value, basically creating money from money. And then once they actually pull the money out, they have to pay a capital gains tax on that. So if you, instead of just them immediately taxing $1,000 worth of stocks, just because of a new policy, instead they don't tax any of it. They let it Instead, they don't tax any of it. They let it grow into interest at the $1,500 on the capital gains tax. So,
why
So
if you're also worried, why can't we stop them from doing that? Because that sounds like a loophole. And then say
no, this is a
we're not
great
going to
thing.
tax.
But it's because this is a great thing. They're creating more money, and we're able to tax more money.
It's a great thing if you're already rich.
No,
I love
it-
this
it- it- no,
conversation.
it's-
Anybody can invest.
the
love
government's
it.
getting tax out of stocks. It's like when you sell the stocks, the capital gains tax come out of it, and if whoever invested accrued interest on his money, then he's going to have to pay more taxes.
Right. So you pointed out that a 10% tax rate would demolish like this entire kind of market, right?
Yeah, because on average, you only make about 10% interest on stocks per year.
Right. So what if we're only taxing like the 10% on the ones that make 50% back on that year on what they made or something like that, something above a certain percentile, so that way we're not just taxing every single person with a stock.
Just so we're
be-
clear, are we
because
talking
it-
about unrealized gains right now, or something?
Yes,
or
they are,
capital
but
gains.
they're
Yeah,
talking
are you
past
saying
each
this
other,
is
kind of.
unrealized?
This is
we're
Unrealized.
talking about
Okay, sorry.
unrealized gains taxes? Okay.
this is unrealized.
I don't
yeah.
know what the fuck I'm talking about, by the way. Don't listen to anything.
So unrealized gains are the gains that you achieve in stock without selling them. The realized gains is when you
Sure.
sell the stocks and you've come out of it with a profit.
Yeah, and what she's basically
Unrealized
trying to
gains
pitch
isn't an
is like
actual-
that, average like 10% rate, like we're taxing like 10% of that, we'll say, just to
But,
throw her a
but
bone.
the thing is that yeah, I know she's going back to explain that what if they make 50% for the year? Well, if they decide to sell those stocks, then they would have to pay a capital gains tax on all that profit that was made.
Okay.
Ticky tack,
So they're
ticky
gonna pay
tack.
more.
Hold on. Let me interrupt real quick. And I'm still gonna stay on the tax talk. I'm not changing the conversation. I didn't come to do that because this is the type of talk you have post-election. You're damn right the right person won because we wouldn't be talking about all this damn money. So apparently the right person won because we all talking money. So I'm glad that we're all in agreement with that, regardless of how you personally feel.
Hey, my portfolio went up 30% today.
There,
I
see,
took
that's what I'm
vows.
saying. You could have hated the man yesterday, and you.
How much Dogecoin do you have, sir?
But
Wait,
look,
what?
ticky tack. Let me say this real quick. So you're right with when it comes to the capital gains tax, but I will say this: people who do that, they're smart because what they do is they take out their money and they immediately dump it into something that's going to give them a loss, so they can write that off and break even. Right? You're not going to get this capital gains tax and go splurge on some stupid thing. You're going to put it into a house, something that you can get your money back. You're going to do it in a home modification. If you're a company, you're going to put it in buying fleet vehicles for your staff. Like, there's ways to get around this capital gains. You
Hey,
put
Jimmy,
it in
that's
something
called-
that you're really going to get a loss, right?
It's called tax harvesting, that strategy. But
Yeah, exactly. And so that's all I'm saying. So that's why I'm not worried about that. The people who do it, they do it well within the strategy, as you just mentioned, Grumple, right? Tax harvesting. So there's ways around that. We're talking about the regular American who doesn't know that, and they came up on some penny stock, made 100K, blew the 100K, and the government's like, I need my 30 just off of regular taxation on top of the capital gains. And they're like, damn, I'm 50 in the hole. Yeah, you go figure that out. I didn't ask you what you were in the hole. I just said pay me.
The thing
So
is,
that's a different set of people.
they don't even have to be lucky off of penny stock or anything like that. Just with me, it's like I've had an IRA for about 13 years. So I've just been investing a little bit of money into that. Or like my mortgage, I'm actually putting more into the principal so I don't have to pay as much interest. There's simple things you could do to help your life along.
Are you going to take that
Thank
out when
you.
you retire, though, to avoid the penalty? Because it depends when you're pulling that out. That's another aspect of it, right? If you have
Well-
that, that's long gain. So you're not doing it once again. You're not facing those same taxes because you're like, I'm going to pull it out at the right time where I can walk away scot free. So it depends what your strategy is.
Yeah.
And may I
so
just point out, Tiki, can I just point out real quick?
Sure.
Tiki, I hope that works out for you, by the way. Because personally, this isn't supposed to be like, I hope it works against you, but I do think like the fact that the market is speculative and that's where we're seeing all the value rise as a result of the election of Trump. It's also going to kind of like cause a lot of spending in the market that isn't accounted for in like with real kind of like financial backing. And that's probably going to bring the stock market in, not into like a crash or anything, but it's going to cause it to dive afterwards. This is just kind of what I've seen happen.
Isn't this a response to tariffs, though?
Well,
No.
I'm hoping that a lot of us has learned from the 2007-2008 subprime loan crash that the stock market is solely based on confidence, and the idea is that we should not move out quickly whenever we see a threat ahead. We should just keep stable and keep going with what we have.
You should.
Except people
Otherwise,
who have millions of stocks in their portfolio will do that with a huge percentage of their stocks, because when you have more stocks, it's easier to do both at the same time.
No.
they'll just shift the stocks. They'll move
Everyone
the
should do the
stocks.
same strategy. Either you have $1 or $1 billion, you should actually hold it. Like that's like you can.
That's just not what we see, though.
No, because you can bet against American companies' greed. They are the most powerful. Like Portugal invests 40% of their social security on the S&P 500. You are not going to bet against McDonald's and Coca-Cola and Apple. Those are going to get you results on the long term. And this is what
Wouldn't
he's
that
talking
just make
about.
a recession worse, though, when you tie your social security to that?
Absolutely. That's why the FMEI to come to Portugal to actually help with the recession. But that's the thing, right? Especially if he's on the long term. I'm actually hoping that the market crashes because I have a bunch of money that I want to plunge in the market. And the most investors don't look at the market going down as a, oh my God, look at my money. They look at this is opportunity for me to buy more.
The thing is, though, with stocks is that there's always opportunities. There's always new businesses that are opening up, and you really just gotta like look at the fundamentals of these businesses and be like, okay, well, how much debt has occurred in their business, or are they financing it themselves?
No.
Are they in a stable market business for long term, or are they just trying to do a quick cash move?
Isn't the real question if this impacts like the actual financial market, not just the stock market? At the end of the day, like if we end up
this
going
is all
into a
stock
bull
market.
or bear, because it's what if confidence in real estate might go up under Trump, but he still had like I don't even think he's talked about like housing tax policies or anything like that. And his record before was like he had very like specific taxes on like specific U.S. firms, but not a lot of like general taxes for these things. Almost like he was trying to help his friends get tax breaks. But anyways, you know, I just think it's ridiculous to expect Trump to care about the average person in the economy. He cares about the rich. He cares about himself profiting at the end of the day. He makes that very clear in everything he says.
Yeah, but let's just grant that as true. At the end of the day, these are like 0.001% of like the crowds that are just involved in this dirty business. Think about what's actually going on in your neighborhood. Something that you brought up was property taxes. Property taxes is a county and a district level thing that's implemented. Your property taxes actually influence your neighborhood a lot more than any other tax because it's reinvested into your area on schools, on infrastructure, utilities, and even like your local government facilities like the courthouse and stuff. So you should, so a property tax is one of the, I think that is like the best tax to exist out of everything else because it directly influences the general public.
Get rid of it. Replace it with a land value tax. Easy.
Property tax technically is. It's like your taxes are based off of the appraisal of your property value. It's based off the land and then also the amenities that have been built upon it. But it's all based upon the appraisers of your county to set a valuation of what your property is worth, and then the entire county sets a tax for the year of how much they're going to charge in property taxes, and that's how they accrue the money.
So I'm an economics noob, mind you. So what I might propose actually might be really dumb, but what if we took all the taxes that people pay out of their paychecks and made employers like for larger businesses pay those?
That's not how payroll taxes at the end of the day almost always fall on workers, not employers.
Right, but
It
wouldn't
goes
it,
half and half. Payroll tax is half and half usually.
wouldn't it
Well,
give,
but the actual incidence, on paper it's half and half, but the actual incidence is usually basically always on the worker because the cost to the employer of hiring you is basically their side of the payroll tax plus your side of the payroll tax.
Well, so is all
works
the
out
other
to
costs for having an employee. I mean, it's now what 3.5. No, it went up 3.5. It's 15.3. I have a,
Well, sure, but like the bottom like 50% of earners pay like basically 0% tax. So I mean,
close to it.
Yeah. So like
basically, yeah, like I think the bottom two quintiles are actually like taxed negatively at
right. So the other corporations, sorry,
yeah,
so the other half of those taxes that
Look, you
half
got to
of people
pay
aren't
insurance for
paying.
having knuckleheaded employees.
Yeah,
you
that's what I
got to
was gonna
pay
bring up as
insurance
well.
for
It's
having
like-
Wait, I
knuckleheaded employees.
understand.
They pay a lot of
That's not-
money.
So
And you don't
on-
want to pay your part of insurance too. I think people don't look at it. When you see, oh, I'm mad because I'm paying $300 a check, whatever people pay for insurance, just go look at the employer side and you'll understand you're getting away easy. When you see them paying $1,800 for every $300 you pay, you'll be like, okay, thank you. I'm glad I don't have to pay that.
So if employers and employees are in favor that this is a ripoff, why don't they try to get rid of that to the point where your insurance is not connected to your job like every other country in the planet? Why not get rid of it? The employees don't like to pay it. The employers don't like to pay it. Why do they pay it?
That
Why
system
do they-
fails that you're talking about, Fatty. It's an incentive for employers when they offer it the way they do. Who wouldn't want that incentive? Because I don't
benefit.
want no damn Cobra insurance.
Why do
Cobra
we have it
insurance?
here
You
in
think I
Canada?
want that? The hell you talking about? You damn right. Give me what y'all got. Blue Cross.
there's a
All
point
of
you
that.
should never
Cigna.
Cobra insurance is super expensive.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
There are other
Oh, yeah.
options like healthcare cost sharing, like MediShare. There are other programs like that besides Cobra. Yeah, I'd never get friggin' Cobra
Yes.
for
So
anything.
why not universal health care and then people pay private if they want to do it?
Where do you
Here's
think
my-
the money comes from for that?
Taxes.
Okay.
Well,
Yes.
here's my
Like
problem with
like
the
the
universal
3
healthcare
trillions that you guys
argument is
spend on
that-
Iraq, like you could.
Yeah, we could quit spending that money too. I'm all for it, but
Yes, actually, it becomes cheaper.
Amen, sister.
It's cheaper for you to actually have universal health care than for you to
Hey,
maintain
Stop
all
it,
these-
Fatty. Stop it. I don't want universal health care.
I don't want it either.
Look, let me tell you, I don't want worse doctors. What you think is going to happen? I
Who
need you to
stops
be
you from
taxed
going
and
to
Canadian,
paying
we
money
don't
and
get
all of
worse
that.
doctors.
I need
Who
capitalism.
stops you from going to a private hospital?
All right.
We have universal health care, and I still have private insurance. You know what it cost me? I'm an obese motherfucker, $50.
What's worse about our doctors, Gemini?
So my
What's
question is,
worse is the
why not have
incentive.
the same system?
What's
Okay, how
worse?
does
don't-
that make
you-
the doctors worse?
The efficiency of or the quality of service decreases if there's no incentive to give good quality service.
That's
We can
not
see-
true.
Private
We have
hospital.
wonderful
You can
service.
And
still
that's
go to a
absolutely
private
true.
Healthcare's credence
You can
good, so
still-
it's kind
you
of
can
doesn't
still-
have good market.
Not every doctor has to participate in
Mm.
universal health care. That's
Well,
enough to understand.
I'd like to find a doctor, a very rich doctor to marry. Man-made media TV comes
Where's
in
that
with the
guy that was
big
crying around
five.
here?
He says Democrats raised $1 billion from the rich is proof we are witnessing a political realignment in real time. Democrats are for the rich corporation. Thank
Both
you,
of the
Most
Mr.
sides
happened
corporations
for a
work.
fund
long
both
time.
candidates.
This is
Both
not
of the sides work for the corporations. Both of them are corporate
Yes.
Democrats and Republicans.
But that was an all-time high for a losing candidate. I will say that. That was an all-time high
Right?
for a losing candidate.
I got a
Billy,
question. When in the last election we had what 82 million people vote for Biden, and we had what 79 million vote for Trump. Is that right? That close enough to suit y'all? About
Right
right.
around those, yeah, those numbers are like super close.
Aren't we missing about 2 million Democrats?
A lot
I
more
don't
than
know.
that.
Our-
Shouldn't we
Nobody
get
likes-
more
don't
than that?
start with the mail-in ballots. Don't start with the
Well, no.
mail-in ballots.
I'm more concerned about these people's safety. They clearly didn't make it to the polls, and we need to find them and save them.
Oh, they're fine. They've been dead for 10 years.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
true.
you realize
I
that
mean, I'm
like
pretty sure
nobody would have won the
someone on-
election if we took for like, you know, if not voting counted for voting for nobody, we would have elected nobody.
What are you discriminating
fuck?
against dead people now?
That is the most
They don't
absurd
have a right to
premise I've
vote?
ever heard, sir.
Okay, so like if less than 50% of a state votes, of most states vote, like would you say that like someone overwhelmingly like won the election and like has most of Americans' support?
It's only those that vote that are counted.
Yeah, sure. But I'm talking about like people who are eligible to vote but don't.
Counted yet.
That's the
Probably
nature of
can't.
voting, sir. That's the nature of voting. The person who gets the most votes wins. Whether
Yeah.
it's 6 votes or 6 million votes, it comes down to the same thing.
For sure. That's not what I'm
That's
talking
actually
about.
Not how it works on your
Not voting isn't
Oh, I
counted
get
as a
what you're
vote
saying.
for nobody.
Well, I mean, I'm
Man, when I was a
analyzing the
kid, the
number of
Smurfs-
non-voters.
Let me say this here. Look, when I was a kid, the Smurfs, it was a great cartoon. I enjoyed it a lot because I was young. Now that I'm older, the grown man version of it sucks, right? Because we got Sarah around here. She's putting on lip gloss. Like, I'm not Papa Smurf, Grumpy Smurf. Nobody's paying her any attention. She's being a gracious host. She's listening to this tax talk. Look, y'all need to invest in her. That's how I look at it. We talking about all these investments. But you know what? Nobody shot their shot. Nobody is like, can I get the one-on-one problems? I'm not in that category. Tag, we got Fatty. These are rich people. I'm just a regular commoner, Sarah. So I'm gonna let them continue the conversation. I'm still gonna listen to it though, casually up here. But all I had to do was recognize you for a moment because Papa Smurf would not approve of this here. And yeah, I don't like the Smurfs anymore. But continue on, fellas.
I
I'm
feel
listening.
I feel very out sausaged tonight. Just saying.
You don't
I-
always feel that sausage?
I always feel out sausaged. It's not, but I don't know. It just feels like extra because, and you guys are all talking smart, nerdy.
I'm
shit,
definitely not a
and I have
nerd.
no
Ticky
idea what you're
Tacky has
talking
impressed me.
about.
Fatty's a buffoon, but I still love him. Non-Fun looks like the poster child for never getting laid. Flow State just got on
God,
bond
Garrett.
from Mel's enhancement facility, not even a regular jail. Caucasian Sasquatch, he can't be a Sasquatch because they found him eating a whole cow in the back of his house and stuff. And then when it comes to D.
Her
Darko,
name was
I love him.
Matilda.
Like if John Nonwick was a character, you would be him. No shades, similar hairstyle, not quite elegant, no guns, not a threat to society. Ticky Tack, I love you. Anybody that wears a mustard shirt and has like a Mr. T, really is balding, but I don't care. We'll just call it a Mr. T mohawk just so you'll feel better about it. Just don't turn sideways because we don't want to see the reality of who you are. And then once again to Grumple, he's doing okay. Look, you are your boy down bad. This is like time. You're going to be Mission Impossible 47. Like this is where he should have stopped like 20 movies ago, but nobody told him. So Tom Cruise kept on trying to do it. So yeah, Mission Impossible 37. I won't go as far as 47. That's you, Grumple. So nice meeting you, fellas. The outside of the ones I already know who are reckless.
Are you
and
leaving?
then-
Hold on.
No. Melanie Cosmic. I apologize.
Stay
You
there.
need a nap, dude. Like you seem like you need a nap.
Stay there. Don't go. God
I
damn it.
always need
There
a
we
nap.
go.
Always need a nap. Oh God.
I'm the same
Oh
way.
God.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm the
Oh
same way.
God. This man, that your
Listen,
knees.
I hadn't had a chance
There's
to
no
get
way
that
you're
far
still
yet.
having. There's no way you're still actively having sex with knees that bad. Like what I just witnessed is like a broken slinky.
Hey man, I'm on
You
the
know how you
stairs
put the
there.
slinky on the stairs and it never
Needs to have
falls.
sex.
Like,
Oh man, that's
you
a
are
rolling
broken
chair.
slinky.
OSHA does not approve, sir.
I
That's
was like,
that's
what
gonna get a
is
fine.
that? Man, somebody, where's the Tin Man? Let's get him some oil immediately for every joint in his body. Let's even put it in his ears, like every just
Careful,
possible.
Diddy.
Goodness.
Careful.
Look, no, I'm not leaving. That was just me being lighthearted. I'm back to let's carry on the
Bad
financial.
Gemini can see when I'm getting bored out of my fucking mind, and so he came to ruffle my feathers a little bit.
So are
I
we
have-
shooting shots? Is that what we're doing?
Shoot your shot.
Homies,
Oh
just
yeah,
me.
let's do it.
Ew,
Let's do it.
and
Yeah, I'm
the
actually shooting
trip-
literal shots.
The
I'm
trip
shooting
one
little
is shooting his shot. He comes in with a big 2. Gemini is cooking. It takes me back. Haha. Win. Thank you, Trip.
Shoot your shot, Sarah.
yeah,
I'm like
I
a third
mean,
of the
I'm just
way
too
to your
good.
requirements. If you're not busy next Thursday.
No.
I'm a
Are you-
good,
are
Christian
you- are-
conservative. That's me. I'm waiting till marriage. Okay, that's why I don't get.
Oh
laid,
yeah,
okay?
yeah. Me too. I have my purity ring, obviously.
I apologize for turning this into confessional. Look, take that up with your local Senate and
That's
House.
just-
Like that was not my intention. Like
All
I'm
your-
not the proper authority to help you with this here. I apologize.
Listen, hey, we need the YouTube Pope to come absolve these gentlemen of sin.
Pope.
I am completely
Pope.
free of sin. Okay.
Pope.
What happened?
Pope. We need the Pope.
Sorry,
The
I was not listening while I was screen recording my teabag.
Bless you, child. You know how it works.
Get some holy water. What you need? Who needs a blessing?
These
All
two
of them.
gentlemen over here who are confessing.
All right, do a Hail Mary, send in a super chat, and bless you. Be on your way. Who else needs some shit? I'm handing out. I'm feeling forgiving now.
Hey, I
Hey,
like this
fuck
modern
yourself,
Pope
not-
vibes. I think people would
This
turn
is
to
hedonist
Catholicism more
flow.
often
The
if
trip
this guy
one.
was online.
I'm so forgiving that I forgive you for calling me hedonist.
Oh, goodness.
Shit.
I
At
apologize.
least you perked it up a little. I was getting really bored out of my fucking mind. I'm
We can
sorry.
tell.
You don't like
I
the
was-
econ.
But
talk?
it's the
Come on.
male ego. You get the feeling it. I will say this, Sarah. At least this was not a pissing contest. This was actually real insightful, intellectual conversation. Unfortunately, this is why the good guys finish last, right? Because the guy that you should be entertaining right now, who will have you wealthy in 7 to 10 years, you're bored out of your mind, and this is the problem we have in the dating scene. So, fellas, keep doing what you do.
Well, I tolerate the boring conversations because it's your conversations to have, right? This is your panel. This is your conversation. And I'll sit here happily. I just moderate in this aspect and make sure it's flowing smoothly and making sure that everybody gets their voice heard. But would I willingly have this conversation on a date?
Oh yeah, you would, right? That's what we're getting at.
Obviously, I'm totally a catch.
Yeah, he is. Did you see him open my mouth when I teabagged him?
Damn right.
So Naomi is requesting that I put the fur baby underneath Flo. No problem. You paid for it. You get it. All right.
Damn.
Yeah, what
Yeah, I
happened?
mean, and I think that that's kind of like, I think that that's kind of a piece of it, right? Like, I
Where
understand.
did the Furby go?
The Furby's probably taking a shit.
Okay.
The little
I know.
hamsters.
I don't
They
want
do
the
do that.
talk thing.
Hamsters poop. They poop little pellets, right?
You said doo doo.
Doo doo. They go doo doo.
They do that.
Doo doo. But I think like if it would like would I choose to sit through this conversation with somebody I'm trying to do other things with? Absolutely not.
Maybe
You
we
know,
should go around the panel and everybody should say what sin they ask my forgiveness for. So it's sort of a confession.
All right, confessional time. Starting with you, Caucasian.
I'm just too great. Forgive me.
Denied. Straight to hell.
Thank you. Bless you, my child.
Bless you, my child. My confession is I need a man to give me a reason to shave my legs. I need something to do. That's my confession.
Your confession should be for telling me not to interrupt you while I'm actively interrupting you, and for that you're forgiven. Amen.
But you didn't interrupt me.
Say something long.
Long.
Interrupt. Next.
Non-prawn.
You know, my confession is I gave your mother a reason to shave her legs. That's my confession.
Well, the joke's on you,
Forgiven and
Brian.
straight to heaven because of that. That was a good burn. Straight to heaven for you, Sir Sainthood.
I hope Mama Tomato's not still in the chat and listening, because if she is and she says I'm here, then I will immediately remove you from the panel for
Straight
making your
to
mama
hell,
joke.
maybe. Whose mom were you
When-
talking about? I think that I assumed it was mine, but it might have been yours.
I thought it was mine.
I was talking about Flow
Just
State's
because
mom,
you're
but-
both egotists.
Okay. Well, if it's
Everything's
Flow
because you're
State.
narcissists.
But it really was all about me.
Woo! Naomi's got me. This is why I like Naomi. Yes, ma'am. Don't tell her.
Fatty, you're
that.
forgiven
Oh,
for never
oh.
having a shirt.
I think Naomi needs to confess, but yeah, go
So
ahead, Fatty.
My confession is I fake an accent and I pretend I live in Europe, but actually I live in Indiana. I'm sorry for that.
Oh, I'm sure you're from Alabama.
I'm from Indiana. You guys got it.
And before the Furby goes, Benedict comes in with the big five. In the last 5 contests, the Democrats secured between 65 to 69 million votes in the presidential election, with the exception of Biden, who got 82. So
That's exactly the question I came in
Yeah,
asking.
clearly because of COVID.
Well, yeah, it is
Italian
sus
mail-in
because like
ballots,
how did
mail-in ballot.
how did Trump win the popular vote unless it was rigged? Republicans never win the popular vote. That's suspicious, right?
There's a better
You can read this bill from Chuck.
Oh wow, dude! Like, are you
Chuck.
really hide behind the blue
Shut up.
flag like that?
Shh, I'm reading Chuck's message. Chuck in Tennessee comes in with the big 5. Flo, that holy water, thought that was Grid's.
Is it not baby oil?
It's actually,
I
no,
need to read these before I read them out loud.
It's
Here's
actually
to you.
it's actually
Here's to you,
just big.
Chuck.
This message is sponsored in part by
Melanie.
One
struggle.
more.
Take a
One
plane.
more.
Oh, Sarah, I offer this to everybody. I can do a dramatic reading of your super chats if you would like. No pressure either way.
But I do the sexy ASMR 1-900 fuck a lot voice.
Yeah,
for reading my
yours is
super
probably
chats.
better than mine.
Nobody
so please continue.
complains. If you start reading the gentlemen's chats, they're going to think you need to confess a few things. Here's to Chuck again for the membership send out earlier.
this message is sponsored in part by
Jesus, I didn't know if
Yeah,
the
I think I read them a lot better.
I didn't know Torsha was back. What the
You
fuck?
All right, Furby, confess.
Okay, so this is Flo. Are you sure you want to hear this?
Oh shit.
I'll hear it.
Okay, so this is the long one. You're gonna have to hear me out. So I'm doing this audition, right? And this
Fine.
family walks in, and at first they say they're gonna do a singing number, but
Are there
apparently
kids involved in this?
it's a good thing.
Okay.
Well, it depends. Okay.
Well, wait, you're
The
confessing.
kids are fine. The kids are actually evil.
The aristocrats.
The kids will be evil. So take that how you will. So how did you know what I was about to do? Fucking I hate you, folks. That's actually kind of sick that you knew that it was the aristocrats thing. Okay, anyways, I can't do it anymore.
And for that, you are forgiven.
Okay, cool.
Bad Gemini, confess.
I watched first 48. I want my lawyer.
No more questions for you then? You're forgiven. Or charges dismissed.
Dr. Darko, also known as dubbed the other night, Dr. Dickhead, according to the chat, but we're going to go with Dr. Darko tonight.
For sure. I banged Mama Tomato so well that she has to lie about it.
Man, I don't have enough power to forgive that one.
Joke is on you on that one.
Outstrip the power.
Ticky tack, confess.
I stampede a herd of cattle through the Vatican.
Oh.
Proved. That's not a sin. That's
gets
actually that's actually pretty base.
I want him to bless me. Screw you, Flo.
Tuesday. Yeah, you might just have won the papacy.
Grumpelstiltskin, confess.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, confession. I have a regret. So in 2016, I placed a wager. I just put up like a Benji on when Donald Trump was trading at 19 cents on the dollar, and Liberal Tears turned it into a Glock 20 for me. I did not actually place any money. I was very sure 2024. Yeah, this is it. But I didn't place any wagers on it, and I feel like I
failed.
Squandered your talents like in the parable.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was talent squandering. I think that's
you did, but you've already paid you've already gotten punished for it.
Fail.
Yep. And because I have to remember that now and live with it, that's I think an ongoing punishment.
Yep. All right. This wasn't too bad. I think Sasquatch is the only one going to hell, right?
You need to confess to me, Flo.
Yeah, right.
Real
confess.
What do I have to confess?
He's hiding something behind
a
those
lot of
sunglasses.
things.
There's something he's using. Those
I wear my sunglasses at night.
Look at all that.
so
He doesn't
I
have any sins I've committed.
avoid confession. Can Pope Flo forgive me for liking the horse clip? This one?
This message is sponsored in part by.
Yes, but I can never forgive Sarah for always leaving the fucking comments up.
I now officially leave the comments up on fucking purpose.
This message is sponsored in part by.
Sarah, I love how naive you are that like that's the only horse clip on the internet someone could be referring to. Like there are some horse clips that you can watch.
No,
They're
I know
definitely worth
I
confessing.
know that Chuck is specifically referring to the horse clip.
I don't
Ninetales,
know.
this is not a vouch stream, okay? Ninetales.
True. Yeah. Hey, by the way, Sarah, I do have to head out. But
last words.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, I reached 1,000 subscribers today because of you. Because of you.
Oh, congratulations! I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Keep coming back
I'm
on.
talking to all of you. Yeah, thanks again, Sarah.
We'll put your link backstage if you want 1,001.
One thing on fun. Do you want to debate on green energy?
No, I want to debate you on green energy.
No, I want to debate you on green energy.
This could have been an email.
Green energy.
No, I'm Patrick.
It's not really my thing. I'd have
Yeah,
to
it's my
do
thing.
research for it, so I'm probably not the best person. We could probably, I mean,
the economy is not
How
is a
about-
horrible
how
topic for
about
me. I
since
actually didn't care
there's-
about the election
Hold
up
up.
until 4 days ago.
Since there are at least 3 of you that want to debate on green energy, we just make that next Mod Monday.
Okay.
Are you for it, non-fun?
There's 2 of them.
As a 3 of us are going to be debating green energy on Mod Monday. I don't know what Mod Monday is. I don't know like what.
It's a mod thing on Monday.
You're here.
It's
Moderator
like
Monday.
this. It's like this, but it's here on Monday.
It's more
I mean,
structured. There's only 4 of you, and then we have the hot seat coming in.
I bet these all could be emails.
And
All
Naomi in
could be
chat is
emails.
wrong. I'm not solar powered. I'm sex powered.
I don't know. I'll do it. I guess I can
The
do it.
visuals.
I'll do, I guess.
Damn. Okay. Well,
I mean,
Sarah, you're right. I'm
Don't worry,
totally
Sarah.
craven for debates. You're right. Compared
I
to
will
like, something like
enthusiastically show up
I'm like
on
way
Monday
too.
They don't
for
cater
this.
to your bougie side. This is the problem.
okay,
with it.
so non-fron Mod Mondays are pretty fun, but they're much more. This is Throwdown Thursday, which is usually a lot uglier than this. I'm actually surprised. Everybody's very, very copacetic right now. But Mod Mondays, 4 panelists, just the 4, and then we have the hot seat. And that starts about 30 minutes after you guys have your first 30 minutes, right? So then the hot seat comes in, and then we kind of go into open panel dumpster fire after 2 hours. But Mod Monday is like it's the debate night. It's where like it's set up. This is what's going on. This is the topic, and this is what we're talking about. The Throwdown Thursdays are shit shows.
Or do you want to like put this on the shelf and maybe do something in December?
Why December?
So it gives Non-Fun a little more time to figure out the
Does
topic.
Does he need time to figure
I mean,
out
green energy is not my topic. Like,
Oh,
Listen,
the
they have
way
like
you
4
guys were
days.
making
It'll
it
be
sound was
fine.
like it was like a,
No, I'm the one saying it's my topic.
oh, all right. We can skip it.
well,
I mean,
well,
I-
let's keep talking about it. Okay, I'm down to.
Are you down to down?
Bad
I'm
date
down to-
sounds like the topic. Let me
I'm
stop
down to
being
do it at some
flattering to
point,
these
okay,
guys.
but-
Let's debate Mod Monday about debating Mod Monday. That's what we're gonna do.
Sure, I'm
Done.
down with the metaphysical conversations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
That's what it's gonna
I do
do.
gotta head out. But once again,
All right.
thanks. See you
All
guys.
right, Non-Front. Thanks for stopping by. You're always welcome. Yada yada yada. All that jazz. Oh no,
He's
that
definitely on the up and
jazz.
up.
Oh, and P. Fletch coming in with the big 3. He says we need to thank Joe Biden for Trump's win.
Thanks, Obama.
Biden would have won.
All right,
Okay.
I think I'm gonna give you guys about 15 more minutes, and then we're gonna shut this shit show down. This non-shit show down.
I learned something today. That
You can
for
learn.
you to get a woman wet, you should tell her how much you're willing to spend, not how much you are investing.
Oh no, portfolios get me excited.
Portfolios
you
get
just
you
don't talk
bored.
about money.
Portfolios get you bored. Spending get you wet. That's what we
Our,
got
s-
from.
our stock market portfolio is not just gambling at the end of the day.
No, not index funds.
No.
Kind of seems like it, right? Because like,
Can
Well,
they?
okay,
It
yes, they
depends
are.
if you're putting your
They are gambling, but
depends.
I'm super okay betting on America 1,000 times out of 100.
it's educated.
It's not gambling because it's not random chance.
It's
There-
educated gambling. If you're putting your money in penny stocks, yes, you are definitely gambling. If you're putting $1,000 on every penny stock you see, that's
I
definitely
mean,
gambling.
poker is arguably not random chance and more strategy.
Agree.
Yeah, well,
Then this,
generally speaking,
And I would
stocks-
say that if you're playing like Hold'em with your friends for money, that's not actually
So
properly.
you guys are
gambling. I would say
recommending
that's
poker.
Yeah.
No,
Hey, poker's fun.
suggesting the opposite, that maybe like people are getting addicted to it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's possible too.
Well, when it comes to my trading, I don't trade like every single day. I would say I probably make like a big move or something like that, maybe once or twice a month. You know,
Is-
but
why?
generally it's putting money into it, not like pulling out.
I don't pull
what
out
did-
either.
You didn't pull out?
That's what she said.
Yes, I want
Excited
babies here.
now.
I'm
Okay,
trying to
new
make an army of
analogy.
myself.
Stock market trading is like sex. New analogy.
You don't pull out. Yeah, we agree.
Don't pull out. Keep going. More.
You plan to, but you're not going to.
harder.
Chase the highs, chase the lows, just keep going.
Harder.
Sarah, when's your next date? You talking like this here is saying a lot. Somebody like, when is her next date? Let's find her a man to at least look at. She ain't even got to do anything with this guy. If she can have a guy that can be across from her and she can look at, that might just bring her down a tench, as they say in the country. right now
What?
because you lip glossing, you got half a dimple on one side. Here it is. Why are you doing this again, huh? Look, you hate me. Let me tell you why you hate me. I'm not gonna talk good to you because that's what you want to hear. And I'm not going to talk bad to you because that's what you want to hear. So now I got to be stuck right damn in the middle, boring as hell. She glosses it up. She has black nails. She has a little shimmer to her shirt, right? And the bangs covering her fabulous thick eyebrows. And she thinks she's fat. Look, guys, if you're going to pander, this how you're going to do it. Does it mean something to me? No, but she likes to hear it anyway. So I'm going to say it. It doesn't mean a damn thing to me. It just shows that I'm paying attention. That's all. And apparently you like big microphones. Of all the things you like, I was like,
The
one
big
thing.
black ones.
Yeah, she likes. You hear this here? Hey, Morris Chestnut, the Tyrese, all the 100 other black men that are above me. I'm calling you all out. She likes big black microphones right now. And so I'm gonna tell you this: how many bottles of lip gloss do you go through? In I wouldn't say in a month.
Oh no, this will last me like 6.
So you put on lip gloss 50 times in any given show, and you want me to believe that this lip gloss is gonna last you that long?
I think so. Well, maybe 3 months. I don't know.
This
We'll
is my
find out.
question. When
I
is the
bought this
last time?
maybe like a month ago,
I have a
and
question for you.
this one kind of like it kind of made it. It made it, but it didn't make it. But this was I bought this probably when I didn't even I bought this before I even started streaming.
Sarah, when is the
Yeah.
last time you
Yeah,
left
babe.
lip gloss in an inappropriate place? When is the last time you left? I'm talking about that you had on your face, not lip gloss in an inappropriate place. That's right. The one that you're wearing on your face. That's right. Yes. There we
This
go.
one?
Yes.
It's
Okay.
been a very, very long time, Gemini.
It's been a very, very long time. Look, and she casually lies. You
It
know
was a
what?
long, long time
You're like every other
ago.
politician. Why not lie, right? You already won the election.
No, the whole
For
fucking
you to do
internet knows the last time I got laid.
Oh my God. You know what? I don't go looking for that. I'm an upstanding citizen. I look for kind content, sweetheart energy, and banter, even though what I'm saying is a lie, but thank you for giving me the answer. So you know what? That's enough of this. You got people talking reckless in the comments, talking about, oh, they look official. This is great. What would I do? It's a lie. I would break up with you before we ever had a real relationship, come back to you to have a real relationship, and then break up anyway. That's how I operate. Like, that's terrible. That's my pattern. So don't waste time with me. Yeah. So
That's because you're a
there it is.
Gemini, and that's why I'm a Taurus, because we don't just settle down for whatever, We when we make a decision to settle.
Oh, rip. I don't do too much shit on the internet, I guess. That'll be fine, right?
This earlier, seems like there's some disagreement, but was there some disagreement that like a standard inflation rate around 2%, 1% is like normal to have? Like I've seen, again, I'm not an economist, but it seems like a lot of researchers say like having zero inflation actually is bad. Studies suggest that maintaining zero inflation could lead to permanent reductions in GDP and unemployment by 1 to 3%. It looks like they're always, at least the Federal Reserve is always targeting around 1 to 2%.
Yeah, because their job is to divert money from the economy to the government. So, I mean, that's like being surprised that the military is pro-war or something. Or
No, I don't break up text.
No,
Yeah, that's
so
the
you do it
president's
in
job, is
person.
to
Do you break
divert
up in
money from the
person?
economy to the government.
I'm happy to do it.
You can also offset the numbers by lowering the money supply. So if you got paid more as an increase in your wages through, a tier bump or something, and you took that money and you paid off your mortgage, you're lowering the money supply because money's
You right over here next to me.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Let me black out my camera so you put me in the corner. And then Neve's here. I can't stand this. Flow
Thanks.
State, shout. You know what? I'm not going to even roast anybody. I'm just going to mind my behavior. She wants me to be next to her. I'm going to put on a red tie and be more presidential if I have to.
Yes, thank
I'm
you.
not
darling.
under flow state anymore.
I've already got the screen recording.
Oh, we can.
Yeah. Have fun with that, buddy. Have fun with
Have you
that.
seen my? You know what? I'll put it backstage. It's my teabaggings playlist.
I don't want to know what you're gonna do with that material.
Yes,
Let me
you
put it
do.
that way.
Don't worry, I got
No,
you.
really don't.
He has a teabaggings playlist.
Hello? Oh my god. Sorry, you didn't hear what I was saying.
Nope, not at all.
Oh my god.
Begging
What will
that
we ever
Gemini
do?
to stop yapping. Oh my god, this man. You guys give him so much breathing room. I will say though, the suit looks nice. I think that's
You did all of that. You did all that tearing me down to build me up. So you know what, Neve? I got to tell you, I miss your
Hey, that's what you
voice.
do. That's what you do.
Don't tell me what I do. So I'm
That
going to
is what
return
you
the
do.
compliment. You know what? I apologize for not addressing you as soon as I saw you. Neve,
You
you are a
did.
great
You
person.
did. You changed up
Yes.
real quick.
Look, you're a spectacular person. Like people like you, I'm telling you, if more people like you could be born, I would want to stop being born. But that's how special you are. But that's my compliment to you.
Yeah, I think I take up
Oh,
a
my
lot of
bad. That wasn't a
space.
compliment. I apologize. It came out incorrectly. In my head, it sounded different. Let me rephrase it. Neve, your voice is like the goddess of, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. Sarah,
Yeah, I think you're gonna
that was a
drop
great
that thing
fail
a
by
little.
me in my date. It stunk up ticky tack. You saw how I felt. So kudos to you who's going to have more money in your 401k in your portfolio than me 20 years while I'm here getting dumped by Sarah. You around here buying the next Victoria's Secret model, what year we in? The 2042, model. You'll have her. She'll be like 25.
Oh my
and
god,
all
this
of
is
that.
what I'm talking about. He just keeps going. Oh,
Let me tell you
fuck.
this, Neve. I love it because every time you interrupt like that, it lets me know how lonely you are in
'Cause
life.
wrap
And now
it
that
up.
this boost, let me
Wrap
tell you,
it
if you
up.
would wrap it up, you would have better results. So you shut your stinking face up. Now I got my liquor. I was gonna behave. I'm gonna talk reckless. I'm ready to crash out. Sarah says we
Okay.
have 7 minutes left. I failed in my date with her. Ticky Tack gave me
Mm-hmm.
great stock advice. Grumple's around here drinking from a poor man's sippy cup. Melanie around here actually looks like that in real life. Flow State is right now trying to find jeans that fit him, and Darko is drinking Cajun flavored beer based on the can. So I don't give a damn what anybody's saying right now.
Cajun
I'm
flavored beer.
I'm coming.
To the credit of the panel. I thought it was a good conversation. I learned a lot actually.
Can I just
Gemini,
point
I'm
out that,
thoroughly
like,
impressed
Mel
by
doesn't know
your
fucking
your
anything
your
about
burns are
economics.
polite, and they hit, and I'm very
Okay, let's
impressed.
stop glazing. Let's stop glazing. Now back to glazing. Tiki Tack is definitely the most attractive person on this panel because he's probably the richest.
Oh,
You're
Ticky Tacky,
muted.
man.
You're muted.
Congratulations,
Tiki.
Ticky Tack. There's some
Ticky
prime
Tack.
ass right there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, all the money is caught up in assets, so I'm technically
That
poor.
earn more
What
money.
you're saying is that you're an ass.
That's a bummer.
I'm saying, like, let's say in 15 years, I'll be sitting golden.
Oh my god.
Unless the stock market crashes, right?
The stock market always goes up. If
It
you're in-
literally,
if
it
you're in-
always trends up. It'll drop
Money
down
goes
a
up.
little bit, but it
Yeah.
if you look at an actual trend of the stock market, like it will always go up. You just have to be patient.
Have you looked at an inflation adjusted graph? I
No.
haven't either, but that would be very interesting.
Yeah, inflation. Honestly, I don't really understand much about it. Other
Well, it's
than
just-
my only thought behind it is that inflation, as long as we keep our inflation consistent with the rest of the world's inflation, we're generally okay. Our
Right.
dollar won't collapse. We can still trade, and everything's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I mean, inflation is really simple, and they try to complicate it for obvious political reasons. But all it is
The government prints more money into existence, so each existing dollar is worth less. That's
Yep.
the whole thing of it.
Well, it's also putting
Wow.
more
Do that
spending.
like or do you
No.
do dirty work?
Okay.
No, it's not.
A whole
Okay.
degree in economics, and that's all
I'm
inflation
sure
is.
there's more than one way to have inflation.
No, there's not. There's one way.
Literally only one way.
If my thought's
Yes.
correct, the idea of inflation of printing more money is that it's given to the banks and that the banks issue as loans, and hopefully they accrue interest on that in order to pay off the inflation and raise the dollar back up.
That's not. No,
well, loan to the banks.
Yeah.
Right. And then the banks give out loans. Yeah.
But
and
that's
like
fractional
20s
reserve banking. Inflation really is just as simple as there's more currency for the same pool of resources.
Are you sure you're not oversimplifying it for political reasons?
Definitely not. No, he has a degree in this stuff,
Okay.
Melanie. So like you know that he knows his shit because those liberal
I didn't
institutions
even
taught him
flex that
economics.
right now. But if you think I'm wrong, all right,
I'm
Booster
sure of
Shot,
that,
what is,
but I've
what is
also-
what is the error in my explanation?
Oh no! What What do you mean?
organizations.
Well, I guess my bit of advice on all this is that don't try to go in and change the game, play the game. So learn about what exactly is happening in the system and just do the same exact shit that all the
Yes.
Do people do
billionaires are
crypto?
doing. So I actually invest in crypto miners because when the
You
crypto
steal our
mar-
graphics cards?
essentially, yeah.
Fuck
the
you.
Fucking asshole.
They're
the
using all
idea
ASICs
is
now. It's
that
not. Sorry.
when the crypto market goes stagnant, all these crypto miner operations are going to switch over to AI because it's the same exact technology. And as long as you invest into the AI data centers, things like mass storage devices, compute cores, or crypto miners, you'll be fine. Because while these other companies that are making the AI software, it's going to be hit or miss. A lot of them are going to go bankrupt, but they're all going to use the same exact systems in the data centers. So invest in the data centers.
Would it be true? Would it be true that like if crypto mining does move to some sort of AI system, like the only sort of advantage like a company or corporation gets from AI, I think it's like carried by their ability to obviously cool things effectively. My understanding is it takes like a fuck ton of water. Like with the average person, like nowadays people are running up their electricity bills, with 20, 40, 80s going on in their living room.
No.
But is that going to continue to be accessible when it moves to AI?
So
Those people probably aren't being efficient either.
That hasn't
it doesn't
been
seem like it,
like
I guess.
viable for a long time.
Well,
So
I
the
got a
electricity
complete answer.
part
I got a
will-
complete answer to all of this.
Yeah, I'm interested, honestly.
So the data centers, they're already making their custom boards. They're just using the chips that are being supplied by NVIDIA mostly. And they have an efficient warehouse in order to cool those things, but they're also stationing themselves right next to all the green energy based sources, especially nuclear, because during those like off hours where wind and solar is just producing energy but not going anywhere, that they feed off of that on a huge discount. Same with nuclear plants. The nuclear plants always have to be running at a thermal efficiency in order to be effective on their ROI. So having these data centers running always keeps the nuclear facilities at its minimum. So it's just very lucrative on how you can make the energy deals with these companies, and those are the people that you got to invest into.
Man, I really want to do that green energy debate on you with you because I just saw a study that actually shows green energy doesn't cause blackouts. But anyway, sorry, Neve.
Well, Darko's I think what he's saying is it's not viable to do it at your house anymore or
No.
to do it en masse, which I can understand. I think when you're competing with entire countries with like, massive investments and that sort of thing, it doesn't make any sense. I guess, yeah, that was just kind of...
Also, the most
By the way, for the water
the
thing,
most
just real
powerful cards aren't usually the most efficient because they do take more electricity and require more cooling. The most efficient is usually like a mid-level card, or at least historically. I'm not up on the most newest mining stuff.
probably an FPGA nowadays. But
FPGA
for the water,
somewhat
Risk stuff is probably the best, but I don't know. I'm not in it.
So I've heard
can I just quickly address the water thing before we get on to something else? Because we probably will. But with water, you can just make that whole system closed loop. Since you're probably pumping it to some degree anyways to get it through your system, you might as well just source it from the place where you got it, and then just put a little bit of extra energy into getting rid of the heat instead of dumping that into a natural ecosystem, and then eventually that's gonna wind up fucking
Well,
us.
isn't the okay? Never mind. I don't know. Like, I'm talking out of my ass here, but isn't the environmental concern the use of water? Like, you're expending it.
Well, that's why we'd
Obviously,
want to
you're
make
not
that water
locking-
system closed loop.
Yeah, but you're not locking it up so that it can't be
No,
used
you
for
can.
other things. You're locking it up, and it's diminishing over time.
As far as I know, a lot of the newer
not really.
systems are
Or
actually
fuel
just
or
using
whatever.
gas heat exchangers, and they're not even using water anymore.
You could also use glycol.
Yeah,
Probably want to get into
glycol-
Peltier
glycol's
devices.
messy.
Peltier devices are not efficient.
Oh no, definitely not.
No.
But the just using a simple like heat pump with refrigerant, and just directly cooling onto the board, that's an easier setup for most people in data centers.
This is so fucking boring.
No, it's not. No, you take that back.
No, Sarah. Look, this is
so
why people
fucking
like me
boring.
and you, Sarah, we like B- students. We don't skip class. We out.
No,
We at the
I
B.
was magna cum laude. Like this is still boring me.
Wait, I believe
Isn't
it's
it
magna
law,
cum laude.
Yeah, cum laude. That's why she was.
Just
Yeah,
because you didn't
all loud.
graduate in a nerd field.
I graduated in a nerd field, just a different nerd field.
She's not in
Sarah
STEM.
got
She's in
that.
heal.
And micro, so I'm not even.
What was your nerd field, Sarah?
I'll give you guys. I'll give what Neve's saying.
Legal
that's
and
my-
ethical studies.
That's a fake
That's
major.
not quite a nerd field, but I'll give
It's
you
like
I'll
half
give
of
you
a
a
Like
nerd field.
bioethics. Bioethics was my favorite course of them all.
That's a nerd right
That's
there, fellas.
nerd.
That's
that
a
one,
nerd.
that course. I'll give you a course.
Necropolitan
So
for the win.
this is my thing. What's nerd about this here? You got these guys who are insightful, intelligent, giving nuance. Like, is it because they don't have swag? I'm trying to understand what's the nerd part of it, Sarah.
It's just boring. I don't want to talk about water cooling anything.
Except your hoo-ha. Yeah, so
we didn't
let me
just
tell
talk
you,
about
like,
water cooling. We talked about glycol
Lindsay,
cooling.
are you doing
and
any crypto
refrigerant.
mining these days?
Crypto mining per se? Are you asking about that?
I'm asking Lindsay if she's doing
Yeah, a
any
little bit.
crypto mining.
I'm trying to jump into the conversation.
Is your name Lindsay?
No, ma'am.
Got him.
Thank you.
My name is Lindsay.
Your mic is way low, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not all that's low.
Oh.
We heard that.
Ooh,
What
that
else
was
is
low.
low?
Get low.
Her left eyelid.
Get low. Get low.
I was wondering what the Lindsay,
I ain't
by
on
chance,
dabs.
are you crypto mining, and how is that
Shouldn't be
going for
doing
you?
that.
No, I'm thinking about it because Trumpy just got elected and he's into that. So I'm thinking
would
about I'm thinking Elon Musk has his own skunk brand of that, and I say skunk because I don't like him, but I forgot what it's called, and I'm interested in maybe seeing if that goes somewhere because he did buy himself a position. From
Would
a
you
multi-
solo mine? Would you solo mine or like group mine per se? Right.
Holy
What do you
shit! I
mean,
love
Gert?
Lindsay.
Well, group are. I only know solo mining is you have to crack a code to a Bitcoin itself on the blockchain, and if you solo mine, you get that entire Bitcoin. Versus a group of miners put in the CPU work.
So fucking boring.
Yeah, but
It's
you're
money there, Sarah.
Sarah was trying to see
Alright.
does this equal to her getting a man? Like y'all haven't solved that yet with all this math and data. Can we crypto mine to build her or get her? A
Yeah,
man?
what you have to do is do all that shit and shut the fuck up
NFTs
about it.
This might be more interesting.
Electric bell.
Our
I
NFTs
got
is
an ethics
scam.
question for you because I didn't ask my ethics question last Saturday. I'd rather do that than be.
I'll take it. Do it.
Yeah, let's
Some random
pause.
dude. No
Sounds
offense.
interesting. Go ahead.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay, here we go. So this is not very complicated. You just gotta listen. You are in a 2-car accident, and it goes by so fast. You know how time actually slows down when you get in an accident. It seems like everything's slower. This time, it's fastened up because you've hit a pedestrian. Fastened. It's sped up because it's so confusing. It's so traumatic. You've hit a pedestrian in the crosswalk due to ricocheting off someone else's car. I don't know whose fault it is technically that you're even in an accident, but I do know that you killed the pedestrian. right in front, smack in front of your car. You felt it, you saw it, you know. However, the other person gets out of the car, and you're kind of surprised to see that it's an older lady. You know, she could be upper 70s, an 80-year-old, but she's
Was she
perfectly
hot?
able. Are 80-year-olds hot?
Yeah,
can
for
be.
80.
Grandma.
She can be as hot as Christy Brinkley.
Have you seen those Nancy Pelosi bikini pictures? Just, I mean,
Okay, sorry.
All
Sorry.
right,
to
let's,
interrupt.
let's
Sorry,
get
get
back
back
on the
to
hot
it,
lady.
Lindsay. Get back to it. Don't let them deter you and anywhere
That
else.
won't change the answer, so I don't think it will. So she's totally hot, and she's 80, but
Fuck
she's
yeah.
so disgruntled. She's pacing back and forth. She's putting her head to her temples. She's very scared and upset. And you say, "Are you okay?" Because she seems extra upset, more than she should be, because you're the one that hit the pedestrian. And she says to you, "I think I hit a pedestrian. I think I killed her." And she's pointing over to the pedestrian, who is now dead on the side of the road. And she's like, "I'm sure I saw it on my car. What are we going to do? What am I going to do? Can you call the police?" Now, your choice is, do you figure to yourself, this is my opportunity. I can throw her under the bus because she's 80. They won't put her in prison, and she's hot. And also, she's so old and so frail. They'll completely let her go. Whereas if who is you, I could be in prison for life, or at least for 20-something years. I don't know how much it's involuntary manslaughter. I don't know how much time you get for that, but it's going to be a long time because you're at fault when someone's in the crosswalk.
Yes and no,
So,
but
do you say and agree and bring the cops over because it's your last chance and say basically, yeah, this old woman, bless her soul, she hit her? Or do you take accountability and take the hit, take a longer prison time, accept culpability? What are you gonna do?
Dr. Dickhead, to you first.
Yes, Dickhead, please. Where are you?
For sure, in the top left, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird. I don't know if it's a bioethics question. I guess. But yeah,
No, it's
I
not
mean,
bioethics.
yeah, for sure.
I just said ethics.
No, but what you
Oh,
doing?
gotcha.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you could easily let her have it. She wouldn't be put in prison.
For sure. I mean, okay. What I think I ought to do is take responsibility for my actions. But I'm a weak human, so I might
You saw
consider
fight or flight
letting her take it.
just now. You would be able to do that in this circumstance.
You can do whatever you want. You're a
Yeah,
free
I mean,
agent. You don't have any.
I think it would be wrong
don't
to
have a
do it.
broken
Why are we talking to the old lady from the car instead of checking
Hold
on
on.
the victim first?
Well, because they're
Let
dead.
him, let him, let him, let it.
We know the victim's dead.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
victim's
Yeah.
dead.
There's already
Doc-
one person under the bus. We don't want to throw another person under the bus.
This is a thought
Let
experiment.
let Darko finish his thought, and then we'll move to Bad Gemini.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it would be wrong to let her take the blame. But I mean, if I knew that I did it, then I might try and get away with it.
You have a chance, at least 50-50. So
Yeah.
All right.
Oh gosh,
Bad
what's
Gemini?
where did she pull this from? Like what Nancy Drew, what
Usually
Alfred
she just-
Hitchcock?
Bad
I think
Gemini.
we
Here we
considered her own
go.
life.
ethics
Where
question
did you pull this from? I'm gonna say this real simple. Look,
You
you
can
said
look
a
it up
key
online.
thing. You said a key thing. First off, I didn't hear anybody being inebriated. Secondly, you
But
said the
we all
vehicle
know you would have
ricocheted.
been.
Yes, that is absolutely true. But guess what? If I'm inebriated, I'm definitely not driving wherever they at. This accident would have happened at a club, and I probably would have ran over a stripper. The story would have been completely different. But anyhow, so when we talking about what she says, the ricochet, all of this can be looked up, right? Like if they're talking that you're not inebriated, you're not DWI, DUI, and now was the driver negligent in front of you, right? Because if they were and they caused you to get in this accident, and as a result you ricocheted and hit that person, then it really isn't your fault because that's circumstantial in the turn of events. But
you don't remember
me,
because you're traumatized. The other lady doesn't remember because she's traumatized and old.
well, okay, if you want to add the trauma to it, then we're going to do the American
It
thing.
is traumatizing to kill somebody, whether you're the one watching or.
But I will say this: if it's so traumatizing that you can't remember who did what, one thing I can do is remember the lie, and I'm going to say, you know what? This old lady was driving like a maniac, and she ran that woman over, and I hated to see it, so I can't remember the lie. That's one thing you won't take away. And officers, I'm here. You can take any statement you need from me. I got it. And she's gonna be distraught. She's not gonna remember anything. This old woman's memory. I'm gonna take my memory over hers. So yeah, I'm lying on her. I'm sorry, ma'am. It's unfortunate. Officer, I'm here. I don't think it was intentional. We'll resolve it in court. But I won't be the one that's sitting on the stand when we're in court. But I can be a witness and say she was a sweetheart, even though she ran over this woman.
Jesus, Gemini,
knowing
give
that
it
I
a
did.
fucking point.
That was it. That was it.
A
That
lot
was
of
it.
head talkers
That
around
was
here.
it. That was
All
it. I
right.
ran over. Yeah.
For me, number one, you can't do anything and it not be caught on camera, so you might as well just have some integrity and fucking deal with it anyways. Number two, you would have to be found guilty of doing something wrong. If it was a ricochet kind of scenario, obviously you're like it's a snowball effect, right? Just the same as if somebody bumped into the back of my bumper and pushed me into another vehicle. It's the same common effect. All right. In this event, somebody
That would
unfortunately
always be their fault.
dies. Yeah, it's a like causational. But number three, there's no point in lying. You can't keep up with lies. It's against it's against the grain of everything. You might as
Bad
well
karma,
just
Ken.
you're gonna be better off by letting the officer know, hey, this is what I believe happened, XYZ, and you're not they have to investigate it first, but in any event, I think you're better off just telling the truth, and because the more you try to hide shit, the more stuff comes out, and then they're gonna start really questioning things.
Yeah, what if they
So.
did the trajectories of the tires and everything and figured out that you
Cops don't
ricocheted,
do
but
that.
she caused you to kill him, so it's involuntary manslaughter or her involuntary manslaughter for both. Now he's getting in double trouble because he lied. He committed perjury.
You're darn right. I'm lying as a brother.
I'll send you
I got
sweet cakes in prison because you're gonna need them.
That's not perjury, though. I think you have to be on the witness stand for it to be perjury.
Yeah, that's true.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, you're still impeding an investigation, right? So if you tell them something that's not true during an investigation, because that's what they're doing there during that time, you are impeding on an investigation.
Which is what, a misdemeanor?
It's still
Why-
something.
Well, obstruction of
why are we
justice
talking to
can be.
police without a lawyer?
It's going to haunt you
Sorry.
later instead of whatever.
You're
Just
fully
that you're
wrong, but I will
important.
wait till my turn to explain why.
That's your account, though. That's
No, we
not
don't
the
care
truth.
about
You can
why you think she's
misremember.
wrong.
Is it my
Why are
turn?
we all talking to police without a lawyer present about something that could very much impact your entire
Well,
life going
let's,
forward?
That's the right
let's
question.
let Neve go.
It's hypothetical.
Oh,
We don't
my-
want it to be too
Okay,
boring.
Lindsay, she's like what, 70, 80?
Not me, but yes.
Okay,
Close.
well, no, I know you're not. You can't be day
Yeah.
over 35. The
Good answer.
circumstance of the situation really does boil down to the age for me. I'm 30, and as far as I'm concerned, she's lived 2 times my lifetimes. She's seen it all, and
But she earned it.
I won't have that much of an opportunity to experience the world from behind the bars. Now, before I go there, okay, because I think you know where I'm headed with this, I want you to consider the cost of retirement homes, right? Long-term care, all of these things, all of these costs, they add up significantly. And if you didn't start saving your retirement plan at my age, well, then you're already fucked. So
Trump's gonna take
what,
that away. by the
what
way.
crash? I don't drive. It's a write-off. I'm peeling the plates off. and she's going to jail for 25 years, and she might be there for 5 before she dies, and she'll live comfortably knowing all her needs are
Oh.
met, and that, you know, she doesn't have to worry about there being a roof over her head.
Neve's going straight to hell.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Take it away, Flow State.
Generation entitlement.
Oh, hold on. We're actually gonna skip and go to Tiki because he's gonna step away.
There's
So
the right-
Tiki, if you want to give your answer and your final closing thoughts or whatever.
My answer is get a lawyer. But no, it's if it's a situation where it's just you and it's your moral standing, just tell the truth. Just own up to it, because that's probably going to be the best thing to play in your court case.
It's actually not
Oh,
just
God.
you and your moral standing. I would question that. It's you and the rest of your life.
Well,
Some would throw morality out for that.
yeah, but the thing is, if you're going to go to court, you're going to be in a jury of your peers. So if you follow along with
Unless you
everything that's
take a plea
correct,
deal.
what's that?
Unless you take a plea deal, which you probably will because they stack them so differently.
Yeah, and it's like this is where a lawyer comes in to really help you in making the correct decisions as well and being able to fight your case. I got to head on out. My dogs are demanding my attention. So I definitely want to say a big thanks to Gemini. Lots of kind words at your way. Dr. Draco, nice seeing you again. Flow State, you're awesome. I can't believe that you didn't use Andrew's arguments against non-fawn. It's like you would have had him in the bag.
I'm multitasking over here. I'm trying to work with somebody to help me get my strike peeled off. So I was sort of in and out of the whole conversation.
Okay. Hey, Neve. Nice seeing you again. I know we
And
didn't speak
you.
much, but
No, you're
awesome to have you around. And thanks for joining, Dan. Thank you, Lindsay. Grumples, awesome talking to you. And Melanie, save the best for last. Have a good day.
Wait a minute. Where the
meet you,
fuck is
Tiki.
That was
mine?
the best of last. He's playing. I didn't hear Sarah's name at all. You know
Sorry
what?
about that,
You're
Sarah.
in trouble. You blew it.
Technically, you're
I
still
blew
last,
it.
Sarah.
I
Everybody
blew it.
forgets that I exist.
Let's tell on
I'll
him.
take-
Let's
I'll
tell
take
him
the
he
L.
did
I'll
it.
take the L on this one. I'll give you
You
$10.
can't win.
How about that? You like
You
money,
ran
right?
over a dog, everybody.
Oh,
Yeah, let's
That
snitch on
helps.
him. Let's give him 15 years.
Thanks.
certainly
Thank you
helps.
for joining Tiki Tech. I
Yeah,
certainly
thanks,
appreciate
everybody.
having you on always. So have a good night.
Yep. Later.
Bye. And we've got figures. OPC Don coming in with a big 3. Just picking up milk cow slack hashtag Bratty Tomato Fun, and then the milk cow strikes back and says, "Here's my $2.99 sticker. Eat that. Thank you, milk cow. Moo." All right. Flow State to you.
Grandma's going to jail, and I think that, but I also actually think that in my case that would not even be the immoral thing because it comes down to priorities. In reality, it's not just me and grandma; it's me and the people around me, and grandma and the people around her that are affected. So in my case, I don't have to. Would it be the right thing for me to leave my daughter without a father and Katie without a husband because I didn't want the weight on my conscience of not having told the truth here? I don't think it is. I think that if I'm prioritizing their needs, which I think I should, I'm going to lie. Or I'm going to let grandma eat it. Also, you should never confess to the cops. You should never, just wait for a lawyer. It's not going to help you. Cops it's not your mom. They're not going to value you confessing. And generally, they're not going to work that hard to investigate things anyways. I don't think they'll ever. You're never going to see a cop do like a trajectory analysis thing. That's for TV crime.
I don't think the legal portion of this was being brought to the effect, though. I think it really remains down on your ethics. That's it.
That's because if you give,
Okay.
yeah, correct. If you give too
Okay,
many,
well,
go ahead.
go ahead.
If you give too many details and people too many options and there's too many variables.
Okay. And just for
then-
the ethics, grandma's going to jail.
Good night, Grandma.
See you, grandma. Thank you for making it easy.
But she's hot, so the judge will go easy on her.
Yeah.
I don't
Shout out
care.
to
Yeah,
Tiki Tac for taking the big L in chat. Thank you, Tiki Tac. All right, Are you with us?
Yeah.
You're not gonna show us another bar, are you?
No, I'm here. Yo,
All right.
my grandma's straight from Germany. She's selling me out before I could sell her out any day of the week.
My German grandma was mean as fuck too.
My
Yeah.
grandma was mean.
Funny,
Really
I'm
She's
German.
the only person who wrote me a letter to jail, talking shit.
Yeah. Yo, German grandmas don't mess around. Absolutely not. But yeah, Flo states about half right. You definitely do not talk to the police without talking to a lawyer first.
Go back
But you
to
also-
the ethic portion of it, not the
So
the
ethically, you don't lie. You don't want to teach your kid that you're a liar. You don't want to teach them that it's okay to lie in important situations like this.
If there's
How would
no
they know?
right,
You're not going to tell them.
there's no right and there's
Yeah.
no wrong in this situation. It's situational ethics really because those are like cultural mores, things that are planted in our heads before, when we were innocent, we didn't know anything was right or wrong. So you could actually say, hey, and I'm going to weigh this out, and this is why this is right for me. He said, I'm not going to leave my wife and I'm not going to leave my kid. And I mean, that's a pretty good
Right.
argument, right?
Yeah, but you're being dishonest, and they're seeing that you're being dishonest to make
How
their
are
life
they
better.
seeing that?
Wait,
That's
wait,
my
wait, wait.
point.
Rye, did you vote for Trump?
No.
Okay. Well, there
I'm
goes
third
my
party.
there goes my rebuttal.
Yeah, I'm third party all the way.
You voted
I
Jill
always,
Stein?
I always vote. Yeah, Jill Stein. Absolutely.
I would have
voted
kept
in
that
Jill
to
Stein.
myself.
What? What's wrong with Jill? Trump is garbage, and fucking the black
Garbage.
girls garbage.
I mean, if you are going to actually
Garbage.
throw a wrench in the system, third party is the way to go.
Absolutely,
wanna-
Melanie knows.
Circle jerk with people
It's not-
whose
it's not
ideas
about
will
the
never
lesser of
reach
two evils.
fruition. Then vote third party.
Because you guys are about the lesser of two evils. You can't really
Speaking
do
of
the
which,
lesser of two evils.
Can we move on with these responses to
Lindsay.
We're actually
what would
delaying
you
the
do?
inevitable, Mel, because no one wants to hear you talk.
Wait, shouldn't Lindsay go last since she's I'm guessing Lindsay's a bit of an expert.
The
in
longer we talk, the less time Melanie talks. And
was it? Oh,
look,
there's-
Sarah
I've
just
got a list.
yawned.
I'm taking
Sarah
notes,
just
babe.
yawned, and
taking notes.
Okay,
you
go
know,
ahead,
she's so
Mel.
tired.
Who's
It would
next?
just be
Is it
No,
Lindsay
I
or
want
Jamila?
no, stop. Lindsay, go ahead and go. You can go. It's
On
not-
my mind is cognitive dissonance because we always say we would do something, and then when we're in that exact same situation, we do something else. It happens all the time. Like maybe you have a really important exam. You're studying to be a nurse. You're not doing so well so far. So you look on someone's paper for the answer to number 8, which is a mathematical problem that you suck at. So you have cheated, and you're against cheating of all kinds. So I know this guy's not buying it, just shaking his head going, no. There's what I think I would do, and what I think is right, and what I know is right, because society has told me it's not right to throw an old lady under the bus and make her go to prison instead of me, right? But when the time came to it, would I be able to rationalize it and say, hey, I do have a few good years ahead of me, and people die at that age, so it's hard for me to say precisely. Do we all have that dark capacity in us? Do we have the ability to make the wrong choice, to do the dark thing, to go, you know what, carpe diem? I think it's going to be there, so I can't answer yes or no definitively, but I can say that I know that I wouldn't feel good about it. I know that that wouldn't be my first inclination. It would be to take responsibility, but I damn sure would think about the opposite too. I know I would entertain it for sure.
Thank you. Bad Gemini, you are exiting the panel. Any final words from you?
I gave him, hey, grandma, you going to jail, and then to ride when you talking about talking about kids and telling the truth to my kids. Yeah, I'm gonna tell the truth, and then my kids got to come visit me. Like, hey, kids, I was honest. See you next week from prison if you come and visit me. And by 2-3 years
They'll
later
never know.
passing, they forget about me, and then I'm stuck in
never know.
prison. So nah,
Remember to
we
put that money
lying.
in the commissary.
Look, I'm gonna be free with my kids because they don't give a damn about me being truthful when daddy's behind bars and all their friends are roasted them for having a criminal dad. So yeah,
Hard to
grandma, sorry, your dad, your fault. Hey,
You're
I
killing
said
her
car-
too?
if-
You fucking
Hey, if
asshole.
that's what it takes to get off, if that's what it takes to get off,
Ooh,
I'm done.
Poor
Dog.
grandma.
Yeah,
We love
yeah,
you,
yeah.
Bad Gemini. Thanks for stopping by tonight.
All right.
See ya.
What about
That, he doesn't realize his grandma would be thinking, "Here's a black guy. I'm gonna push it on him."
You're right. Add an extra element. What about
All
the
right.
Furby?
Dan, to you.
All right, well, I think everyone addressed kind of just the main points of it. Morally speaking, my mind goes to I'm legally not even in the wrong as that ricochet thing comes into play. So I'd probably call the cops and blame it all on the grandma, you know? I'm going to say she hit me first. That's what it is. I live in Maryland and, you know, I
Oh,
believe
no way. What part of Maryland are you in?
I live in Maryland. And,
Fine.
oh,
I'm in Maryland. That's why I said that.
what part are you in, Sarah? I don't want to.
I'm Hartford County.
I'm Anne Arundel. I'll say that. Anne Arundel.
Oh, okay. You're down in the shithole.
I'm in the suburbs. I'm in the burbs
That
right
makes
now.
sense. That
Regardless,
makes sense.
I think Maryland laws is the car who hit whoever first is at fault. So I'm going straight. Grandma's going to jail, and that's that. I'm gonna
Oh,
keep it short and
Jesus. Put that shit off screen, dumbass. Come on, Tard. Get with the program.
It was just a crack bong.
Exactly.
I was on screen.
Listen, we've all done
Dumbass, you
PCP
literally-
live
Last
once or
time you
twice.
last time you stopped it and pulled up the little thing, and I knew it was coming.
That's what she said.
I was just about to. That's what she said. That damn it.
You have
Put
been
on
sentenced to a
I still
15-minute
wanna hear
Melanie
Furby.
monologue.
All right. Grumple Stiltskin to you.
I think it was pretty clear. If you weren't intentional, like it's obviously not murder. It's not even going to be probably if you stop to render aid, it's not vehicular manslaughter. You weren't trying. It's not negligence.
I thought it
They
was
died.
second-degree murder.
Manslaughter
Died,
doesn't have to
and
be
they were
intentional.
they were in a
Why
cross.
are you saying it's second degree? What?
It's your
why,
fault.
Why are you assessing that now?
If you hit anyone at a crosswalk, it's automatically your fault. But I'm in California, so the law might be changed depending on your state. or
Okay.
province.
Well, it
Um,
would be your fault if you directly were driving through and hit them, but in this
Yeah, this was a-
instance, you were pushed into them.
This was a piece of a larger wreck incident that you weren't very clear on. Did the granny cause you hit the granny?
Could have.
And
Everybody.
it was
Yeah,
very
it's her
unclear
fault.
about who
It's her fault you hit her?
made it.
What was she
happen.
wearing?
The way she was wearing.
Based.
She's 80 and she was hot, so she was wearing a black leather outfit.
She distracted me with her
Well,
pussy.
maybe if she was wearing a
Nice.
fluorescent yellow outfit,
Base.
Grumple wouldn't have hit
The
her.
real
huh?
questions here,
Maybe
dog.
that's what I'm
Thank
hearing.
you.
That's what I'm hearing.
She was asking for it.
But yeah, never talk to police ever. If you're talking to police, they're putting together a case against you. You don't talk to police without a lawyer, 100% ever under any
The way I
circumstance.
explained is that it did ricochet. Who ricocheted off of what and how we don't know the details. And I said it spun by so quickly
And
because
that
it
makes
was
a big difference.
dramatic.
But
Instead
you
of
should
the-
your dash cam, which you should probably be looking at before any police are involved. Also, you're going to look at your dash cam and then know what happened.
You're stealing
And
Sarah's
before
answer
you
now.
start
She already said
talking-
everything is on camera. Like, come on, dog. Yeah,
No, I'm
gotta
saying
pick
with
something
your
else.
own dash cam, which it probably is these days. But I
That's
mean,
what. Well, that's what she
talking
meant
about
on by
environmental
everything is
cameras.
on camera.
Right, but
Yeah,
your own
probably
dash
do
cam
that.
because
That's
everybody's
probably do that.
responsible and
He's
has
sweating.
dash
He's
cam for
sweating. We got him on the
kind of
ropes.
things
He's
like that.
sweating.
What on the ropes? I said never talk to police ever without a lawyer. That's it.
And that's like saying drive safely. In this instance.
But people talk to
But
police.
not
People talk to police
not
all the
everyone-
time without a lawyer.
Yeah, and not
Yeah,
everyone
then
drives
that's-
safely.
I
This
think that's
wasn't
a
even
silly
supposed
thing
to
to
be a
do.
legal issue.
You can see
Yeah,
there's all
that's,
kinds of variables.
I'm just
left out.
saying it's plausible that a woman in her 70s or 80s doesn't see someone coming around the corner. That's all.
I'm not putting anybody else under the bus, and I'm not saying shit. I'm like, let the lawyer deal with it.
You're
I
right.
have drank. I
America.
have consumed all.
It's very
the reasons-
practical. So I think and I'm sorry for taking so many goddamn notes, but I think we have two matters here, and then I'll give my opinion as quickly as possible. We have matter of social consequence. If we put ourselves in the old lady's shoes, we'd want the
No,
other
can't
person
do
to
it.
do the
Love
right
you,
thing.
Sarah.
In a broader sense,
Damn.
cool. So again, I'm just going to repeat myself then. If we put
I'm
ourselves
listening.
if we put ourselves in the old lady's shoes, we want the other person to do the right thing. Especially if we knew that we in fact didn't hit that person. In a broader sense, we benefit from when people take responsibility, especially when we are innocent. So there's also the matter of self-preservation versus self-integrity. Assuming I'm not first of all, this experiment assumes I'm not an 80-year-old lady. That would kind of neutralize things. But I'm just going
Have
to.
you ever stolen anything, cheated anytime, stole a pack of gum? I mean, we're all guilty of doing these things in some bit or another, sacrificing your own integrity for a lesser good.
I don't disagree, but the impact of that consequence would be minimal compared to this. Can I finish? Please?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
So
Wherever you
it
want.
is natural to avoid what could amount to a harsh punishment, even when you are responsible. I don't think it's unnatural to want to avoid that. The question, and I think it's still a question of will the guilt haunt someone enough to serve as a just punishment for what they did? And I don't think it will. So my position overall is that a society of selfish
and
well, the
it's
point
just
is,
how are you going to skew it to
Correct me
Granny?
if I'm wrong, Lindsay, but you said that sometimes things happen so quick, but this specific situation, we know that the car ricocheted, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
so
Balderson, what say you on this hypothetical?
So just on the ricochet point in Minnesota, anyways, I've not been in accidents.
We're
in a lot
talking
of
about
states,
the ethics.
but well, just in the Minnesota thing, they would still a lot of times, depending on what was going on, consider that your fault.
Ethics, the ethics,
The ethics,
the
you just
ethics.
you're every
Are
little
you
kid gets,
blaming? Are you blaming Granny?
no. Every little kid gets taught better than that. You should have known
think
better than
only
that by the time you were 5.
One person.
I mean, I'm fine with the don't talk to cops, but that includes don't blame Granny. Just, hey, dude, I don't talk to you. That's
Fair
what
enough.
it's different than
It-
blaming Granny.
Dr. Darko. Did you go already?
Yeah, sorry, I was first.
he
Or-
went first. He
Oh,
went first.
okay. My apologies. All right. Well, it's 1:30 in the morning, and I said I was going to shut this down like 45 minutes ago.
I think Lindsay brought up an interesting question though.
Lindsay,
About,
can I ask you real
taking the
quick?
blame?
Can I ask you real quick, Lindsay? Where did you get that question from? Is there a website that I can go to get these questions?
I
She
just
pulls them out of her asshole, dude. Fucking Google it and figure it out.
It's very painful. The things I do.
Now,
for you.
All right.
Yeah, if you
Everybody, I'd like to
There's a lot
end
of
this
questions up there.
session. Shut up. I'd like to end
No.
this session on a fun little note of everybody just waving goodbye. Can everybody just give a little either fuck you, wave bye, Lindsay, Dan, Grumple, Dr. Darker. Just wave. Just wave.
I'm taking the W because I scared away
And
Neve.
say fuck off.
If you thought this show sucked, well, you could have been watching something like this instead.
All right, I'm gonna get low with it, Michelle. I'm gonna get low there. Oh, oh yeah, right there. Okay. Oh yeah.
Listen up, I got a tale to tell about a sexy tomato with a fury from hell. All the other folks.
Brave literally exploded, shut down my whole computer. Can't run a 4K monitor alongside my 2K monitor, apparently. What this is the computer we know of too.
in manufacturing a lot of things just because they have a lot of people. And two, yeah, they also have
Okay.
Iran, North Korea, and Russia, which also have manufacturing bases to some extent.
That's again going for other places, just specifically for gas and resources that we could build quite a bit of it on our own. We're not going to be 100% self-sufficient within a few years or anything like that, but we don't need to sit here and kowtow to other countries in order to get what we want and then blow a whole shit ton of money on those countries instead of what's happening in our own turf.
Right. The key issue for me too is just the knowledge that is lost. I mean, the sophistication of a lot of electronics manufacturing in China, because the people who started those businesses worked in other electronics companies